This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Morning time is so early, but you gotta get out of bed. Brush your teeth so they're white and pearly, comb the hair that's on your head. Morning time is so early, a cup of coffee perks you up, and then if you're still feeling tired, pour yourself a second cup. This is my chorus, hope it doesn't bore us. If it does, then just ignore us. This is my chorus, hope it doesn't bore us. This ends my chorus, this ends my chorus.
Broadcast ready. Activate now.
The morning show that's live and local.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Here's your host, Buzz Adams, on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome, everybody, to the show for this Thursday morning. It is September the 12th. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We've got a lot coming up on the show, including a true crime report in about an hour. We have tickets for the Friday El Paso Chihuahuas baseball game at Southwest University Park. So we're going to make that a 4-pack, a family 4-pack, if you will, to see the Chihuahuas play on Friday. The season is going to be wrapping up here. Yeah, over the course of the next month. So, Chihuahuas tickets coming up for you. Joanna went to the Jelly Roll concert on Monday at the Don Haskins Center.
I did.
And I
went to the Church of Jelly Roll.
The only thing that you said you were a little disappointed in was, well, a couple of things. You didn't get a T-shirt because I
lost the dude in the parking lot.
The guy selling illegal T-shirts out in the parking lot left, but also that he didn't bring out his wife at the concert, right?
I love Bunny XO, and I was hoping that at one point he would bring her out. So I thought, oh, maybe she's not on this tour with him right now.
Right.
Maybe she didn't come with him.
Maybe she doesn't go to every single tour
so
stop.
I thought, maybe she didn't show up, and that's why he probably didn't bring her out or anything.
Well, guess what?
What?
She was in El Paso, and we know this because there's video posted of her touring Concordia Cemetery and trying to communicate with Ghost at Concordia.
My heart.
So she was in El Paso.
Bunny.
Tommy Lee had his wife come out on stage at the Motley Crue concert.
That's what I thought. I was like, you know what? Tommy Lee brought out Brittany. She flashed us. That was great. Bunny XO doesn't have to flash us. If he could just be like, and here's my wife, Bunny, I'd love it.
That would have been an extra thrill.
Yes.
Well, Bunny was in El Paso.
She was here.
And we have the audio of her at Concordia Cemetery. I want to talk a little bit about the Haunted Houses of Terror, which are going to open this month, September 27th. And we have 2 locations. The first Haunted House of Terror is at 13900 Montana, and the other one is at 2155 Joe Battle. So, both on the east side. They're going to open September 7th, but we're having another casting call if you would like to work.
September 27th.
What'd I say?
The 7th.
September 27th, the Haunted Houses of Terror open. But we're having another casting call tonight, 6 p.m. If you want to, make some extra cash.
A side hustle for spooky season.
Or a seasonal job.
Yeah.
What do the people at the Halloween Superstore do for the rest of the year, do you think?
You know what? I've always wanted to ask.
Because what do you got?
What do you guys usually do when it's not spirit?
Yeah. But you've never asked.
I've never asked.
Right. That's kind of.
I don't want to come across as like nosy,
prying,
rude, or anything.
We're going to have a casting call if you want to work and get paid for the KLAQ Haunted Houses of Terror. Show up at Desert Warriors Paintball, 6 p.m. today. That's at 13900 Montana, which is the site of one of the haunted houses of terror. They also have a phone number you can call if you want more information. Here's that number. I'll give you a second to get a pen. Jot it down. KLAQ Haunted Houses of Terror are brought to you by Western Tech. Burnout Bullies, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, and War Eagles, proudly produced and managed by Desert Warriors Paintball, who have been great partners of ours for many years now. Here's a telephone number to call. More information about the casting call tonight at 6 o'clock at Desert Warriors Paintball. The number is 915-502-3968. That's 502-3968 for more information. Well, we're getting close enough to the weekend. Here is the golfers' forecast for the weekend. And it looks like that chance of rain has dissipated. There was going to be a chance of rain on Sunday. It looks like that is out of the forecast now. Today, sunny, 97 for the high temperature. Tomorrow is going to be mostly sunny. We don't see any rain in the forecast. 94 for Friday's high. And right there, low mid-90s for Saturday and Sunday. So also wind is going to be, under 10 miles an hour. I give today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all an A+.
Ooh.
This is the golfer's forecast. It's brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Set up all your tee times and reservations online at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com. Or you can call the pro shop. Their number is 915-821-2122. I watched the debate a couple of nights ago.
Yes.
And I know you did.
Yes.
I must have gotten up.
I watched it.
I must have gotten up and, gone to the restroom or fixed some food or something because there was one part of it we were talking about, Trump's claims that refugees are eating dogs and cats. And
They're eating dogs. Meow.
I didn't catch this one, but then I heard it yesterday. Kamala Harris, I don't know if you guys know, wants to give transgender surgery to illegal immigrants in prison. That sounds like a woke mashup, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Did you catch that, Joanna?
You know what? I was kind of tuning in and out at one point. But that explains all the memes I've been seeing.
Does she really want that?
About transgender aliens.
Does she really want that? It's hard to imagine that is a serious policy position by anybody in America, much less the vice president of the United States. But Kamala wants you to pay for transgender surgery for illegal aliens in prison. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning.
What class were you at last night?
I'm taking a comedy class.
Oh, really?
I am.
You're taking who could possibly teach you anything about comedy? The master.
Actually, that's an interesting question. I don't like the tone that Buzz did it in, but I would do wonder. Who is teaching you comedy?
One, because everything you say sounds mocking. And two,
I don't know why.
I don't know.
It's actually a professional stand-up who's also a booker. He has a big company called Entertain Max, and he books out like Into the Mountain Gods and a bunch of casinos and stuff.
So you didn't go, it was like online then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you feel like you learned a lot?
That's cool.
Tell us a new joke.
But that's not how it works, I think.
Okay. Hey, buddy.
Hey. What's up?
We've got a lot coming up today on the show. Joanna's going to have the Hollywood Cheesemate in just about an hour. So, Joanna, would you please give us a preview of what's coming up on your Hollywood report?
Coming up, I'm heartbroken that I didn't get to run into Bunny XO.
Yeah, I know.
In other news...
She has big boobs.
She does.
Does she? I don't even know what she looks like.
Yeah, she's like another Coco.
She's lovely. I love her. Anyway, coming up.
One is an X, one is an O.
See? Comedy class is paying off already. John Bon Jovi is a hero. He was filming a video on a bridge in Nashville when he noticed a woman who was contemplating suicide. And he was able to convince her to not jump. I'll let you know more in entertainment news.
John Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi!
Talked a woman out of jumping off a bridge.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think he said to her?
Get off that steel horse that you ride.
Like, you're halfway there. You're living on a prayer.
Yeah, there you go.
Just come back, girl.
Are you from Jersey?
I'm from Jersey. We've got today in sound clips, including Bunny XO's tour of Concordia Cemetery, where she tried to commune with spirits. We'll have that coming up in just a moment. Today in sound clips on the way in just a second.
The Daily Calendar.
Yepers, it's September 12th. So you say you want to bring all the boys to the yard? Well, today's your day, National Chocolate Milkshake Day. It's also Policewoman Day to thank them for all their protecting and serving. And it's official School Picture Day and Video Game Day. Plus, it's National Day of Encouragement.
I am enough.
Actually, you can be a lot.
What?
Nothing. And that's your daily calendar.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases.
Champion of all things rock.
Is manageable. IdentifyEPI.com and speak with your doctor. That's IdentifyEPI.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Originating in El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show. 95.5 KLAQ.
Tickets for Chihuahuas baseball on tomorrow, Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah, it is.
We'll have a family 4-pack to give away today on the show. Then we're going to have another 4-pack tomorrow on the show.
Joanna, do you do anything particularly spooky on the 13th of anything?
Does anybody celebrate Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
There's a lot of places that do things for Friday the 13th.
You're like part witch, right?
No.
Oh, my bad.
I just like horror movies. And I try to watch Friday. Well, my favorite movie to watch on Friday the 13th is Freddy
Friday the
versus
13th.
Jason.
Oh, all right.
I love that movie.
Okay, just exactly, I need to establish this.
What?
How goth were you in high school?
I wasn't.
Were you emo?
No, I just wore a lot of black.
Uh-huh. Were you really into My Chemical Romance?
I mean, who wasn't?
Yes.
Okay. Bullet for My Valentine?
Yes.
Okay. And you wore a lot of black. Did you wear black makeup around your eyes?
I only wore eyeliner.
Uh-huh. But was it gothy?
It was black.
Yeah, I think you might have been goth.
You were close. You were goth adjacent.
I was goth adjacent. There we go. I was like lazy goth.
You weren't really...
Oh my God, I'm wearing black today.
So in Freddy versus Jason...
You're kind of like Wednesday Addams a little bit, aren't you?
Okay.
She's our Wednesday. She's our Friday.
I am miércoles.
So does Freddy go into Jason's dreams?
Freddy goes into Jason's dreams and kind of like wakes him up so that he could start wreaking havoc again.
But then he didn't know what he let loose.
Exactly. But then Jason was like, you woke me up. I'm doing this, bitch. And then they start fighting with each other.
Those movies got pretty silly, didn't they?
Yeah, that was good.
Let's go ahead and get to our sound clips for today.
And now, today in sound clips.
All right, we'll start with some of the more serious news. Hurricane Francine made landfall in Louisiana as a Category 2 storm yesterday. Here is the governor.
Francine.
Here is Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry with an urgent request telling citizens of New Orleans to stay indoors today.
After the storm is over, please remain in place. As you heard from all of these agencies, we are going to have a lot of people on the roadway that is necessary to put the vital infrastructure back in place so that you can go about your daily lives.
And here is Jamie Rome, Deputy Director of the National Hurricane Center, with some advice.
You know, I have a saying for our younger staff where you don't turn your back on the tropics. And what that means is that a system can form just about in at any time, and you don't necessarily see them with 7 days notice. You don't necessarily see them in the models. Sometimes they pop up on you.
All right. The next story is a little convoluted. I'm going to do my best, but you might need to follow. A 9-year-old had urine spilled all over her when she tilted a candle on a shelf at a Dollar General in Indiana.
Was the urine on the shelf?
Apparently, somebody, and they haven't been able to catch him, has been going and peeing, filling the candles at Dollar General.
Oh, gosh.
Someone has been peeing in those candles. The little girl went to sniff the candle. The urine spilled all over her.
God.
Gross.
And I love smelling candles.
When I was a kid, there was
And you're a girl.
There was a big story about somebody was poisoning Tylenol.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you have the
safety caps.
Yeah,
and the seals.
The seal to know that nobody's been in there messing around. Well, this is that, but really, really gross and dumb.
But stupid.
Here's the girl's mom, Adriana Shelton, talking about what happened to them at the Dollar General in Indiana.
She picked up a candle to smell and tilted it back, and it literally, liquid went down her.
Oh.
And at first we're like, maybe it's just water. And as we're walking through the store, we get a foul smell. And Grace goes, Mom, my shirt really stinks. They told me it's been happening over a month, and they're not able to catch the person doing it. And there's no cameras down the aisles where he is doing it. The manager has asked for corporate to put in cameras in those areas, and corporate just doesn't want to pay for those.
Doesn't want to pay for the cameras.
Ugh, gross. I got pee.
One of the shows that was on in the 2010s that Joanne and I were big fans of. I don't know about you, Nico, but we're Parks and Rec. Parks and Recreation. Love Parks and Recreation.
I was a recreational fan.
You didn't?
Of Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I wouldn't park it, but I would wreck it.
So Ben Wyatt, played by what's his name?
Something Scott.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott.
You remember his backstory? Like
he was a mayor at the age of 18.
Okay.
And then he took down the whole town.
He wrecked the town's economy and budget by building a skate park.
Ice Town. Ice Town.
Ice Town.
I always felt awful for him because they all blame him, and I'm like, you are the idiots who voted in an 18-year-old.
Well,
what did you expect?
I've got another story about some idiots who voted in and a 19-year-old who was actually elected when he was 17. So the mayor of, let me see what the name of the town, Edgewater, Florida, is Diesel Depew, and he's 19 years old.
Diesel?
Diesel.
Depew.
That's correct. That's the kid's name.
Depew.
Like Pepe. It's Diesel and Pepe.
Okay. A video went viral of the 19-year-old mayor drinking at a bar, yelling racial slurs, and acting inappropriately, and allegedly making slurs. Here's a little bit of the report locally about the 19-year-old mayor.
I need alcohol!
Was that really him?
I need alcohol!
That's the actual video. All right.
They also shared this video with us. The mayor can be heard screaming, "I need alcohol." And in one last clip, you can see the mayor sitting on a couch, holding a drink in his hand while making what the person behind the camera calls lewd gestures and using racial slurs. A city spokesperson told Eyewitness News in an email that the city has no knowledge of Mayor Depew acting inappropriately or violating any laws while acting in his official capacity as mayor. Depew made history in November 2022 when he was elected mayor of Edgewater at just 17 years old.
How did the adults who were running for that feel about losing to a 17-year-old?
Yeah, seriously.
He is the youngest elected official in Florida's history.
Okay.
I want alcohol.
I need alcohol!
A student at Purdue won a competition for a car lease. It was called Kicks for Cash. But the dealership refused to give him the prize. They say that the timer ran out with 5/100ths of a second. Or it ran out. He was 5/100ths of a second late on the last kick.
Oh, come on.
Zachary Spangler was supposed to kick a field goal at the 20, 30, and 40, and he had 30 seconds to do it. I don't think I've ever tried to kick a field goal. Like, it looks too hard to do. I imagine it'd be really, really difficult, right?
Yeah.
He made the one from the 20. He made the one from the 30. And then he made the one from the 40. This guy must have been a kicker in college or something. But the dealership said that his last kick was late by 5/100ths of a second. Here is Zachary talking about making the 3 kicks.
They were like, can you at least hit one? I go, yeah, I know I can hit the 20. So that one went like right down the center. I remember that, no problem. And then I remember moving back to the 30. And after like the third or fourth one, I'm like, I just keep putting them in the same spot. I just keep running on too straight. I'm like, I'm running out of time. So I just took another step over. And I'm like, I hope this is it. And it went through. And then got back to the 40 with like, the ball got down with like a second left. And I heard everybody yell. So I'm like, okay, it went in.
Well, probably because of the bad publicity, the car dealership reversed themselves.
Good.
They offered Zachary a 2-year lease or $5,000 cash.
Give me the cash, bitch.
And Spangler took the cash. Boy, there's no choice there, right?
Nope.
Unless you really, really desperately needed a car.
Also, I imagine a new car probably would have, like, you could have gotten the new car and then sold it maybe for more. Right?
You only get the lease on the car.
Oh,
you don't get the car.
Damn.
Joanna was disappointed that Jelly Roll didn't bring out his wife Bunny XO when he played in El Paso on Monday night. But we found out Bunny XO was in El Paso.
Oh, don't tell me that.
The reason we know this is because she went to Concordia Cemetery to try and communicate with Ghost.
No.
Here's how that went down.
And Father, did you hear how crazy they said it? Oh my God. Sacrifice. It's time to go.
How many people do you think are buried here? They said 64,000.
She was using a ghost hunting app. Every once in a while, the app would make a static noise, and then a spooky voice would say random words like grandfather and sacrifice.
Oh, my God. Oh, Bunny.
She went during the day. So she was in town, Joanna.
I wonder if Jelly Roll was with her, or he knew she was trying to commune with.
Jelly Roll has this really great video from where he's driving like on I-10, and people are recognizing him.
Nice.
Hey, the Dolphins are playing tonight on Thursday Night Football. The Dolphins on Sunday won over Jacksonville, but that was the game that wide receiver Tyreek Hill was detained by police and thrown on the ground. The latest on that is Tyreek is demanding that one of the officers be fired. And the latest is that Tyreek admits he could have done a better job dealing with the police after the body cam video came out.
You know, I could have let down my window, in that instant. But the thing about me is, man, I don't want attention. I don't want to be like cameras out, phones on you, in that moment. But at the end of the day, I'm human. I gotta follow rules.
All right, so the body cam video showed the officers knocking on his window and Tyreek, not lowering the window. House Speaker Mike Johnson was asked yesterday about a vote on a spending bill that would avoid a government shutdown at the end of the month. He said there's still work to be due and referenced the SAVE Act he's trying to attach to the spending bill. Mike Johnson pulled the government funding bill because of Republican defections. Here's the Speaker of the House.
We're going to continue to work on this. The whip is going to do the hard work and build consensus. We're going to work through the weekend on that. And I want any member of Congress in either party to explain to the American people why we should not ensure that only U.S. citizens are voting in U.S. elections.
Okay, so he, it's the spending bill, and he's dipping his toe into kind of like election lies. Johnson said that Republicans are, the reputation that the Republican majority Congress has is inept. Can't get anything done, can't get out of their own way. Here's Johnson talking about that.
We're in the consensus building business here in Congress with small majorities. That's what you do. That's what I've been doing since I became Speaker. We're having thoughtful conversations, family conversations within the Republican conference, and I believe we'll get there.
And Donald Trump is not saying he will debate Kamala Harris a second time, but he says it's because he beat her so badly on Wednesday night. When asked by a reporter about Vice President Kamala Harris's request for a second debate, Trump told the reporter he was thinking about it.
No, we're looking at it, but when you win, you don't really necessarily have to do it a second time. So we'll see. But I thought we had a great debate this time.
That is Trump's superpower, making your own reality and then never backing down from it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I won that debate.
I totally won it.
I won that election. There were at least 400,000 people at my inauguration.
I mean, I guess if you're not going to hype yourself up, who else will?
Who else, right?
Yeah, but, most people stop short of lying.
Lying or changing reality.
Here's a little bit more from the former president.
When you don't win, it's like a fighter. When a fighter has a bad fight, gets knocked out, or loses the fight, the first thing he says is, we want a rematch.
So he's saying Kamala Harris got knocked out, and he won the fight, so he doesn't want to do a rematch. Trump said they have to determine whether or not he wants to do another debate.
I would do NBC. I'd do Fox too. I'd do Fox too. But right now we have to determine whether or not we even want to do it. We had a great night last night. And you see by the poll numbers, it was really fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody.
I'm not sure what polls he's referring to.
You can only live in such a reality.
The VMAs were last night. I don't know if Joanna, if you're going to cover this very much.
Do they still make music videos? Who knew?
I don't have cable.
The last time I can remember being aware of a music video, like this is what the video looks like, might have been like Childish Gambino with that one about This is America. I remember that one. People talked about that. The Lil Nas X video for Old Town Road, and then the follow-up, the one that was really controversial. Ferracito or Mamacito or...
Despacito?
No, Call Me By Your Name. That Lil Nas X.
Oh, the Little Nas X song.
I mean, I grew up in the MTV generation, like the first MTV generation. I was in junior high school. When I heard those songs on the radio, I immediately pictured the video. But yeah, they're still having video awards. Katy Perry put on a performance, extremely impressive, 10-minute long performance. She was on cable. She was doing acrobatics above the stage. Wow. She sang her songs that spanned her career. At the end, when it was time for her to talk, here's what Katy Perry said.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you. I did that all on my first day of my period, too. Can you believe it? Thank you so much to MTV for believing in my weirdness from day one and for helping artists extend their worlds beyond a song. I just want to say with my whole heart, do whatever it takes to stay true to yourself and true to your art. Turn off social media. Safeguard your mental health. Pause. Touch grass.
Pause, touch, and what was the last thing?
Grass.
Grass or grasp?
I think she was saying touch grass.
Touch grass.
Pause. Touch grass.
Touch grass. I might do a little bit of that this weekend.
And do what you were born to do, just like I was born to do this. 143 comes out September 20th. I love you!
This might come as a big surprise to nobody, but Taylor Swift won a bunch of awards at the MTV Video Music Awards. Taylor Swift immediately honored, yesterday was 9/11, so she honored the people who lost their lives on 9/11.
Guys, I wanted to say, waking up this morning in New York on September 11th, I've just been thinking about what happened 23 years ago, everyone who lost a loved one and everyone that we lost. And that is the most important thing about today. And everything that happens tonight falls behind that.
Taylor Swift accepted the award for Video of the Year for Fortnite and told her fans the following.
And the fact that this is a fan-voted award and you voted for this, I appreciate it so much. And if you are over 18, please register to vote for something else that's very important coming up, the 2024 presidential election. I love you all so much. Thank you for this moment.
That was Taylor Swift?
Yeah, that was Taylor. Donald Trump said that Taylor Swift is going to pay the price for endorsing Kamala Harris. So if you hadn't heard, ending a few weeks of speculation, Taylor Swift came out and said definitively she is endorsing Kamala Harris for president. And Trump wasn't very happy about that. Harris must have been thrilled, No telling what Biden thinks about all this, though.
Hi, folks. Thanks for coming. And hi, President Biden, the still president. Heard that Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. That's so sweet, by golly. And to return the favor, I'd like to officially endorse Taylor Swift for president. She'd be a great president. She'd sing songs on the White House lawn all the time, and she'd have cats in the Oval Office because she loves cats. Cats are cute. She'd do great. Plus, the first gentleman would be Travis Kelce, and he's a cool guy. He's a cool, tough guy. Wow, President T. Swift has a nice ring to it. What do you say, Kamala? There's nothing funny about this. This is serious stuff. I mean it. President Taylor Swift will make America musical again, and she has my support. You go, girl. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless Taylor Swift and the America with the music. And oh, hell, what was I saying?
Music news,
concert updates,
song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock. Oh.
To learn more, visit WebU and get started today. Don't give up, rise up at Western Tech, college for the real world.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers.
At GVILaw.com.
All right, top of the hour, we're going to have a true crime report coming up for you. Then Joanna is going to have the Hollywood Cheese Bay. I got an update on Dave Grohl and his baby situation.
I got a confession to make.
I had a baby out of wedlock. I don't know if has the baby been born yet,
Yes.
Joanna?
Yes.
Okay.
He was announcing the birth of the baby.
Right. So you did this story yesterday. Remind me of what you reported yesterday.
Well, he announced the birth of a baby outside of his marriage.
He's been married for 21 years.
Yes, and he is working hard to earn back their trust and forgiveness, he says.
Yes, that's what I have here. Dave Grohl says he wants to earn his wife's trust back, but he also hired a divorce lawyer before announcing the birth of his out-of-wedlock baby.
Aw, Dave.
We're going to get to the Mo Show calendar and daily almanac of events here in just a few minutes. I put up an article yesterday. I was really curious about this. The Gateway Hotel in downtown El Paso has been ordered. The tenants have to be out today. So there's a lot of local shelters and NGOs that are trying to find places for the residents to stay. Two of the news channels, KFOX and KVIA, both did walkthroughs of the hotel. So I wanted to see what was going on. What the reason they're shutting the hotel, a couple of reasons, actually. First of all, it's been operating without the proper permit for 6 years. Second of all, a lot of the people there are American that live in the hotel. But on the walkthrough, it looked as bad as what we were hearing. Another reason they shut it down is because there have been 700 calls to police in the last year alone having to do with that hotel. Things like assaults, terroristic threats. One of the people that owns a business right next to the Gateway Hotel says that people openly smoke crack in broad daylight where his customers can see it.
Oh, man.
But the reporters did the walkthrough and they talked to some of the residents. Both of them, they didn't identify them as Americans, but they both spoke English, and they both, one was a middle-aged African-American guy and the other one was an older white guy. And the older guy said that he lives there because it's in his budget and it's what he can afford. But then he's talking about, oh, yeah, you see the blood smeared on the walls. There's still blood on the walls. And there's all kinds of crime going on. Oh, also, El Paso police say that hotel is infiltrated by members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Did I say that right, Nico?
Yes.
Tren de Aragua is the Venezuelan gang that there were reports out of Colorado that they'd taken over entire apartment buildings. Although the police and the mayor of Aurora, Colorado say that's not really true. The hotel's going to be shut down. Here's a takeaway for you. As I'm reading the thing, it's like, how do you operate without a permit for 6 years without anybody saying anything? And you're in the middle of downtown. It's not like it's, some remote location. It's right downtown. The place I lived at before where I live now, we had a
cello problem?
No. We had a homeowners association problem. I once wanted to put up a basketball goal in my driveway. So I put it up. And within 24 hours, I heard from the HOA saying that it was against the covenants and I had to take it down. I couldn't get away with a basketball goal for one whole day, and yet they operated without a certificate of occupancy for 6 years? What the hell? I want some answers about that. How was this and the hotel looks like just crap. I mean, it's terrible. That's an answer I would like to get. If you've ever tried to open a business, about dealing with codes and stuff like that. They don't cut you any slack. If you're a business owner, you know exactly what I'm talking about. How did a hotel...
So what's happening here?
How did this happen? You can read my article at KLAQ.com. It's on the front page today. Let's take a quick look at our Mojo Calendar Daily Almanac of events. Today is September the 12th. National Police Woman's Day.
Woo!
There was a show in the 70s called Police
National
Woman.
Police Woman.
No, it was called Police Woman. And it starred Angie Dickinson.
Angie Dickinson.
And let me tell you, Angie Dickinson could get it.
Let me tell you.
Back in the days. Today is Video Games Day. You guys have a favorite video game? Specifically, like an old-fashioned arcade game where you'd have to go put a quarter in it.
Oh, we have to put a quarter in
Yeah.
it.
Did you?
Ninja Turtles.
They had a Ninja Turtles game?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Galaga for me, baby.
Or the X-Men game.
Joanna, did you not play video games?
I guess I played a lot of Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
At the laundromat.
At the laundromat? Birthdays today include actress Emmy Rossum, who played Fiona on Shameless. She's 38.
Wow.
When I watched that show, I remember feeling a little guilty that I thought she was so hot because I thought she was like 18. I think she plays like a 20-year-old on the show, but Emmy Rossum, really talented actress. American Idol contestant and coach on The Voice, Jennifer Hudson, is having a birthday today. She's 43. She didn't win American Idol, but she did win an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in Dreamgirls. Birthday for retired Chinese basketball player Yao Ming. 7'6", man. And graceful like a gazelle. I mean, to be that tall and just, not just agile.
Like a gazelle.
Like Yao Ming was great. He's 44. Rapper 2 Chainz is 47 today. And disgraced comedian Louis C.K. is 57. Also, speaking of the MTV Music Awards last night, one of the original MTV VJs has a birthday today. Nina Blackwood is 69, and she was part of that original crew. And actor Joe Pantoliano turned 73 today. He has been in more movies than you realize. He was Cypher in The Matrix. Remember the one where the guy's like,
Cypher.
I swear to God, it tastes just like steak. You know, that was him. He was Ralphie on Sopranos, and he was also one of the Fratelli brothers in The Goonies. I wonder if Joey Pants is coming back for the Goonies sequel. And actress Linda Gray, who played Sue Ellen Ewing on Dallas. She is 84 years old today. 58 years ago on this date, 1966, The Monkees TV show premiered on NBC. I'm curious, have you guys ever seen The Monkees? Do you know the theme song?
Hey, hey, we're the Monkees.
Nice, good.
It was on Nick at Night.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. So
Yeah.
you're familiar with that. Did you know they had an open call? They auditioned people to be in the band. It was the band was created specifically so they could make a TV show, and the Monkees got made fun of a lot over the years because of that. But one of the people who went to the audition did not make the band, but went to the audition. Charles Manson auditioned for the Monkees.
Oh,
Really?
that rascal.
If he'd gotten a part in the Monkees, maybe Peter Tork would have killed all those people, right?
Or maybe that's who Marsha would have been obsessed with in the Brady Bunch instead of Davy Jones.
Also, today is National School Picture Day. Do they still do school pictures?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they still do.
You have
school
nephews?
pictures.
Come on, Joanna.
Yeah, do they
Yes.
still do school pictures?
They do, yeah.
Why?
I don't know why.
Well, who needs them? Kids take 100 pictures of themselves a day.
It's a tradition. I don't know.
Do you dress up your nephews, Joanna?
Me?
Yeah.
No, they're old enough.
They
to
don't let
dress
you
themselves.
pick out clothes for them. And
No, when they were little, maybe.
Here's comedian Kelsey Cook talking about National School Picture Day.
I got coffee with a friend recently, and she told me that she's trying to be a better person. I was like, oh, that's nice. What have you been doing? She goes, well, I'm taking less selfies. Oh, take it easy, Mother Teresa. Say some of the Lord's work for the rest of us. Everyone says we're so self-absorbed now with our selfies, but I think we were way worse before then, because at one point we were all in school and we all had school picture day, and then we ordered physical copies of photos of ourselves and gave them to people. Like narcissistic sociopaths. Can you imagine doing that now as an adult? Just going up to a coworker unprompted, like, I signed it.
Find out what's going on. Quirky facts about our region. Urgent things you need to know impacting your drive. And of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
We're across the Lake Middle School and Bob Hope Drive. Visit SavannahAHomes.com.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
It is Thursday. That means it's time to talk to Ed the Brewer from Downshift Brewery in Ruidoso, New Mexico. Hi, Ed.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning.
Good, buddy.
We've been talking to Ed the past few weeks. Ruidoso's bouncing back from some, pretty rough summer with wildfires and the flooding that followed up on the wildfires. Hey, Ed, I got a question for you. In Ruidoso, do you guys, does the town celebrate Dia 6 de Septiembre?
Nothing that I know of, unfortunately, but It sounds like a good time.
Well,
you have other celebrations.
how about Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah.
Do you guys do a big thing for Cinco de Mayo?
Cinco de Mayo, that's a big one. Yep.
Yeah.
We try to get into all the other, holidays as well.
Oktoberfest, right? That's happening at the end of the month.
Oktoberfest. That's coming up, and honestly, what we've been focused on is that right now we're ramping up for that. The tickets are flying. We're actually out of VIP tickets. We sold out, which is the fastest we've ever done that. I think you guys have a couple that y'all are giving away or something like that.
Okay.
And then we've got only a couple vendor spots left. So if you vend, sell trinkets or mugs or anything like that, and you're interested, or if you want to attend, we do have the regular tickets still available. And that's coming up on September 28th, so it's just around the corner.
Nico and I were both there last year for your Oktoberfest party, and it's like there's a lot of stuff going on. There's bands. Nico was there in Lederhosen.
I was.
He was hosting.
Yeah, you had the booths. You had plenty of beer. There were a lot of people up from El Paso that were at downshift. So 28th, huh?
Yeah, we actually have a live polka band this year, which is awesome.
Oh, hey.
Buzz, are you going to be able to make it up?
The 28th. I should be able to clear my schedule and be up there for the 28th.
Oh, he'll be there.
You can count on me.
Awesome.
All right, what's happening?
We might need to find you some leather pants.
Now, how do you know I don't have my own already?
Do
they make extra large lederhosen?
Shut up.
They stretch the leather. It'll be fine.
What's going on this weekend, Ed?
This weekend, we've got some really cool stuff going on. Tomorrow, we have Dave Millsap at Riverside, and then Spivey is on after that. And if you haven't seen Spivey, this guy comes out of Lubbock area. I've never seen music like this guy can do. He's making like coyote noises and doing all this looping and this cool stuff. The first time I heard it, I couldn't believe that one human was doing all that cool stuff. But anyways, he'll be there on Friday. We have CWA on, which always draws a huge crowd on Saturday at Riverside. Over at the Tap, Moxie, which is actually, they're a local band, and they lost their home in the fire. So we're trying to get them over at the Tap as often as we can. Coming up as well is Bree Bagwell on September 19th.
Oh, I've known Bree since she was 19, 20 years old. So
yeah,
fantastic.
She'll be playing at Riverside on the 19th. We're so happy to have her. And those tickets are available as well on downshift.beer. Also, I don't know if you knew this, but the Inn is having the band Down. Are you guys familiar?
Yeah, sure. I've heard of. We know Down. We played Down, I think.
Yeah. So they're going to be playing at the Inn on September 27th, which is the day before Oktoberfest. So it's going to be a great weekend of music down here in Ruidoso.
All right. Well, if you're like me, you should start making your plans today to get up to Ruidoso either this weekend, next weekend, or then the big one is the Saturday the 28th, that weekend with Oktoberfest happening. Well, thank you, Ed. We'll be talking to you before that, though.
Of course. Yep.
All right.
Talk to you next week.
See you, buddy.
All right, we'll see you, Ed. Ed the Brewer, who is originally from Ruidoso.
I wonder if he's related to Bob the Builder.
Ed the Brewer and Bob the Builder, well, they don't have the same last name, so I don't know.
And one's a brewer and one's a builder.
Well, maybe they come from the same town.
Is Bob the Builder from Ruidoso? Because that's where Ed is from.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna, tell us more.
Here is Joanna Barba with Hollywood News. It's our Hollywood Cheese Mix. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Well, new reports everywhere are saying The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has become Hulu's most watched unscripted season premiere of the year so far, based on just 3 days of streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. You guys contributed to that.
A little bit.
This is all according to Disney internal data. The series follows the scandalous world of a group of Mormon mom influencers led by the self-acclaimed Mom Talk founder, Taylor Frankie Paul.
I watched one episode just enough to let you know that it is hot garbage.
Yeah.
You're not going to go back?
I'm not going to watch anymore. I can't.
I may watch some of it. It also says it implodes when they get caught in the midst of a swinging sex scandal that makes international headlines. Apparently, I read a report that one of the husbands got fired after the swinging
One of the
came to
husbands
light.
got fired?
Yeah, I didn't get to see which husband got fired from his job, but
Is that legal?
I have no idea. But it was after the whole swinger scandal came out. I'm going to have to start watching that. Judd Apatow has been attached to direct the upcoming movie Cola Wars about the battle between Coke and Pepsi for market share in the 1980s. According to Deadline, Steven Spielberg will produce it. The project is currently in the early stages of development at Sony, which reportedly acquired it for over $1 million in April. Ben Queen and Jason Schumann are set to write Cola Wars. Schumann co-created the Apple TV Plus series Acapulco and served as an executive producer on Winning Time. Deadline previously described the movie as a behind-the-scenes account of Pepsi's attempt to challenge Coca-Cola's century-long reign as the world's top cola, sparking the unforgettable Cola Wars in the mid-'80s. This could include the filming of a 1984 Pepsi commercial during which Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire and the disappointing introduction of New Coke. Yeah. I know
So
that because of the Goldbergs.
It's an Apatow movie, right?
Yes.
So is it going to be like Seth Rogen's going to play Coke and James Franco's going to play Pepsi?
They hate us because they ain't us.
That's right. Nice callback.
Thanks. On the Drew Barrymore show's season 5 premiere, Dax Shepard addressed one of the craziest rumors that he's heard about him and his wife, Kristen Bell. Shepard revealed that a tabloid had spread a story alleging that the couple were swingers who hosted swing parties. The armchair expert host left off the gossip, saying his favorite part of the whole ordeal was that he got a lot of texts from their friends asking why weren't they invited to the swingers parties.
I mean, they were teasing, of course, because they know us and they know we're not hosting swinger parties. But I just thought that was to receive, like a text from Kimmel saying my feelings are quite hurt that Molly and I weren't invited to this swingers party was very funny.
Yeah, if I were friends with him, I'd be like, why aren't you inviting us to these
I
swingers
didn't even
parties?
know Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell were Mormons.
The secret lives of...
That's the other wife that they haven't introduced on the show. You see, you got to keep watching the show, Buzz. To top it all off, Drew Barrymore asked if there was a couple that Shepard and Bell have fantasized about getting in bed with, and the answer is actually kind of cute.
You know who we're most in love with? We're in love with Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen.
They're couple goals for sure.
Oh my God, they're so dreamy as a couple.
100%.
You just kind of want to be in their marriage. It's not so much that Kristen even wants to bring me along or I want to bring her along. You just kind of want to be in their marriage.
That's what I keep saying. I just want to be in a throuple. Let me be in your
You
throuple.
are in a throuple, Joanna.
Yeah.
Shut up.
With both of you?
Yeah.
Finally, John Bon Jovi is credited with helping save a woman's life after persuading her not to jump from a bridge in Nashville on Tuesday. According to TMZ, Bon Jovi was filming a music video at a bridge when he noticed that a woman was standing on the bridge's edge. Along with another pedestrian, he managed to talk her down and help her back over the railing. The Nashville Fire Department and Metro Nashville Police Department responded to the scene and actually credited Bon Jovi for his actions. Nashville PD Chief John Drake said in a statement, quote, "It takes all of us to help keep each other safe." TMZ notes that through his JBJ Soul Foundation, Bon Jovi actually has training in speaking with individuals who are experiencing a crisis. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
We've got a true crime report standing by. We're going to get right into that true crime report after a short commercial pause. So stick around. We'll have that coming up.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday,
Those featuring our in-house Serpappedia broth for dipping, Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
We're back. Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz in the morning show. 95.5 The Q.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the
What is going on?
I don't know. Yeah, I had the Fox News video of Kamala talking about January 6th. I didn't.
But there's an ad for something.
Yeah, but there's an ad for a cruise or something. I couldn't find the thing that he was. He said it was in there. The caller said it was in there.
It was. I remember her saying that.
She said it was the worst attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet she said on the U.S. Capitol or on the Capitol building or
on democracy.
On democracy. John was the caller who thought it was ironic that she would make that statement on the eve of 9/11. But
right.
I mean, if we're getting to the point where we're splitting hairs over the difference between terrorist and the former president, I mean, you're kind of
lumping
blowing up your
right.
own argument there, it seems like. For the replay of this, edit that all out, okay?
Sure.
Thank you, Joanna. Time for the True Crime Report, actual crime stories from around the world and across the nation, and I even have an El Paso story. Don't let me forget to do the El Paso story. Because I have all this on one document, and then I'm just going to use the paper for the El Paso story.
Okay.
Authorities in Baltimore have arrested a 67-year-old man for stealing traffic speed cameras.
Okay.
Thomas Cairns was arrested by Baltimore police. He is 67 years old for stealing speed cameras.
Oh.
They've charged him with taking 4 of them.
Not
They
a spry.
suspect, though, that he's responsible for stealing dozens throughout the city because there have been that many that have gone missing, and they think they got their guy.
Not a spry young thing.
Speed cameras are like red light cameras and can issue tickets to drivers who drive recklessly. I mean, I don't want anybody driving recklessly, but we don't have that here, do we?
They got rid of them.
Because it's like people were mad about them? Or
I don't know why.
Okay.
I can't remember why.
They've been Oh, here you go. The story says those speed cameras have been controversial because they've issued tickets to drivers who weren't actually speeding. Baltimore has about 160 of these cameras. And officials say they could have been broken into in broad daylight because people would just assume that it was a maintenance worker. In fact, they have footage of the thief, Mr. Cairns, wearing a hard hat, getting out of a van and using a grinder to cut the locks and steal the cameras. Now, is this guy like a modern day Robin Hood? Right. Or is he just a criminal?
Not all heroes wear capes.
The police have not recovered the cameras, and they say they're not sure what his motive was. Well, here is a gun safety tip. Do not store your guns in an oven.
Okay.
You've heard the expression, you got a bun in the oven. Well, somebody had a gun in the oven. Fire officials in Virginia were called to a home in the Richmond area when a homeowner reported that their oven had exploded. So the fire department showed up. When the firefighters showed up, they found that the oven had exploded and there was a handgun inside. Apparently, someone had turned on the oven, not knowing that there was a loaded gun inside. It was loaded, yeah. 5 rounds went off when the temperature got hot enough. Fortunately, no one was hurt. One of the rounds shot through the front glass of the oven. No further details on who put the gun there or why it was in the oven. Fire officials shared this life hack. When you place any item in the oven, it is easy to forget it's there, which can lead to a fire or something worse when you turn it on. You should also make sure to properly store your firearms. Keep them somewhere secure, like a gun safe.
I don't leave my gun in my oven, but I do leave my Dutch oven in my big oven.
Mm-hmm.
You don't use your oven to store pots and pans?
God, I hate when I forget about that and then I try to make a frozen
Store
pizza.
pots and pans?
I forgot you don't use your oven. But
sometimes I leave I got an oven tray.
You only cook by fire now.
Yeah, now I only cook on an open flame. That is true. You know, I don't know if you've ever noticed on the True Crime Report, I don't do a lot of international stories because they're harder to verify, and some of them seem pretty outlandish. So for this one to make it, you know, this one is an international story. It's got to be special. This happened in the Netherlands. A 33-year-old man was sentenced to 4 months in jail for stalking after showing up at his ex's home. But he didn't just show up at the front door. He shipped himself inside a box to her address. It is unclear if the ex-girlfriend brought the box inside, but he popped out of the box, threatened his ex with a gun, and then took off with the keys to the home. He had himself shipped
as a box
inside. He was in the.
Okay,
who shipped it?
Yeah,
or did he just take a box there and crouch down in it?
I didn't know they offered that service at Kinko's.
The man told the judge in his defense that he had himself delivered in a box because, quote, that was the only way he could get his stuff back.
Judge, I had to mail myself in that box.
I just wanted my stuff back.
Did he go through whatever they have for a post office in the Netherlands? Do they have UPS? How did this happen? The ex, the woman, had put a camera in her home after the box incident and caught him showing up at her place on 3 occasions. Remember, he had stolen the keys. The man claims he had permission for the visits. The judge was not buying it. In addition to jail time, the judge granted the woman a 3-year restraining order. So I imagine if any boxes, unexpected, but big enough to have a human being inside, she's going to be very, very skeptical of. So I've been hearing for decades, most of my adult life, that, you know, like store employees and convenience store clerks aren't allowed to interfere if they're being robbed. This guy in Vegas didn't get the message. A 47-year-old gas station convenience store clerk named Myron Bully was arrested for beating a man with a baseball bat. What did the man steal? Technically nothing. He took too much nacho cheese, according to the convenience store worker.
That's nacho cheese.
Get back here. That's nacho cheese. Very good. The person called 911.
Repeats what you said.
Yeah. The person who called 911 told police he saw the victim on the ground while pumping gas and asked the clerk to call 911. The clerk responded, "I'm not going to call 911. He better have learned a lesson." So the guy was on the ground after being beaten with a baseball bat. So Mr. Bully, Bullie, told Vegas cops that the victim, quote, took too much cheese from the nacho cheese machine.
There's a limit.
The clerk said he told the customer to leave. The victim left but returned a few minutes later, insisting that he get his nachos. And that is when Bully, the clerk, pushed him and hit him with a baseball bat. And it's a serious injury. The victim is in really bad shape with 2 brain bleeds. His injuries are considered life-threatening. Bully was charged with suspicion of attempted murder and battery with a deadly weapon. So when I hear this thing like clerks aren't allowed to interfere with a robbery in progress, I'm going to go ahead and say that policy may vary from store to store. And our final story is from the El Paso Times today. A story written, excellent reporting by Aaron Martinez in the El Paso Times. A state judge has shut down a historic El Paso hotel because police believe it is being used.
Prostitutes.
A lot of criminal activity.
Hookers. Ladies of the night.
It's the El Paso Gateway Hotel, which was converted to a hotel in 1928, has been shut down at least until December by a state judge after the owner was accused of operating the hotel and allowing criminal activity, including housing members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua.
Oh.
Have you heard about this? There's a story similar to this in Colorado.
No, I had no idea because in our app chat, Munster says, why is no one talking about the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua that's here in El Paso? And I was going to bring this up.
Tren de Aragua.
So what is this? We have had a Venezuelan gang in El Paso?
I read a story earlier this week about Aurora, Colorado.
Oh, is that the one they're talking about, the apartment complex of the suburb?
Has been completely taken over by
That's false.
That turned out not to be true?
Yes.
Here's the question. If any members of a violent Venezuelan gang, wouldn't the police get involved at that point? They said they had taken over, was it an apartment complex or a motel in Colorado?
I think it was an apartment complex.
Okay, let's try and suss out here. Got to go to the next page. The defendant in the lawsuit is Howard Yun, the owner, who was not reached for they did not hear back from him. The hotel has become a hub for suspected gang activity, particularly members of the Venezuelan criminal gang Tren de Aragua. That is according to El Paso police. During an inspection of the hotel, EP police officers observed several violations, including an out-of-order elevator, unstable stairwells, and fire exits blocked by trash. Police also say possible prostitution and an increase in criminal incidents since the arrival of the Tren de Aragua gang members at the hotel. The Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua, has made national headlines in the last few months after gang members allegedly took over a housing complex in Aurora, Colorado. You say that's not true?
Yeah,
like they weren't there at all, or they didn't take it over?
They didn't take it over.
But But there's a kernel of truth there.
There may be a Venezuelan person around, yeah.
The Aurora Police Department has denied that the gang had control of the housing complex. The Gateway Hotel opened in 1928. It was converted by Trost & Trost, the famous El Paso architectural firm. The previous owner of the hotel, Song Yu Chon, was convicted in federal court in 2011 of money laundering and a scheme to smuggle into the U.S. thousands of undocumented immigrants, many of whom were housed at the hotel over several years. The previous owner of the Gateway was sentenced to 15 years in prison. So what do we got here? We got reports that you're saying are not 100% true, and the Aurora Police Department says not true, that this Venezuelan gang has taken over an entire housing complex. And they have ordered the Gateway Hotel shuttered until December as they investigate these allegations for the police department.
So the apartment's landlord said that those gang members were taking over possession of the building.
In El Paso?
No, this is the one in Aurora. But police and residents of the city say, no, that's not true.
Huh.
Well, if you saw New Jack City, you saw that Wesley Snipes and his gang totally took over an apartment building.
Now, police have arrested members of the gang in Aurora, Colorado.
Now, if you arrest somebody who's associated with a gang and has been involved in criminal activity, they should be on a plane that night, don't you think?
Yeah.
I might be exaggerating. I guess everybody has some kind of due process.
If you only read the New York Post or watch Fox News, you're going to hear headlines like this one. Brutal Venezuelan gang violence spills into quiet suburb from sanctuary city next door despite efforts to keep migrants out.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like there's some version of that the police in El Paso suspect is going on at the Gateway Hotel downtown.
Coming up on Houses Without Venezuelan Gangs Hunters, Linda is looking for a home that's spacious, has great curb appeal, and hasn't been taken over by a Venezuelan gang. Let's see if she finds what she's looking for.
All right, over here you'll see the kitchen. If you'll notice the new appliances.
Ooh, stainless steel.
Yep, very fancy. And let's go over here to the master bedroom. Actually, let's go check out the...
Was that a Venezuelan gang?
What? Don't be silly.
Because I specifically said that I didn't want a home that was taken over by a Venezuelan gang.
Yes, I'm aware. No, that is the building superintendent and his co-workers. They're doing their fantasy football draft. And
Sounds like a rampaging Venezuelan gang.
Fine, you got me. Let's go look at another place.
It's all coming up on Houses Without Venezuelan Gangs Hunters, only on HGTV.
Hey, it's Chuck, your host for Loudwire Nights. Tonight at 7, we will rock the borderland with the best rock ever made and the best rock being made. Special guests, birthday and anniversary celebrations, and every night at 10...
Just your mattress announcers celebrating in style with the Kansas City Chiefs. And if the Chiefs win, your best night's sleep could be free.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys have their home opener of the season this Sunday, taking on the New Orleans Saints. And you can hear all the action Sunday on 95.5 KLAQ. It's going to be an early game. So our broadcast starts with the Cowboys pregame show at 10 a.m. Sunday. Dallas Cowboys football on the Q is brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, 915 Tours, and Border City Ale House. Border City Ale House is the home of the 600 ESPN El Paso Monday Night Football watch parties with Steve Kaplowitz. Nico.
Yeah.
You had something you need to tell everybody?
I do. I want to say Downshift's Oktoberfest is coming, so Prost, everyone.
Prost!
Raise your glasses to Downshift Brewing Company's annual Oktoberfest in beautiful Midtown Ruidoso, New Mexico. Beer, German food, and lots of fun for the whole family. Live music all day outside on the big stage and inside the Hidden Tap. Fungy Mungle, Phil Hamilton, Feline Fox, Dane Pack, Dorso Dirtbags, Chris Baker, Sarah Harrelson, Tyler Jones, Delaney and Valerie, Dave Hamilton Electric Cello, Matt Palmer, and more. King and Queen of Oktoberfest Best Dress Contest, Stein Hoisting Contest, Chicken Dance Contest, fun and games for the whole family. Buy tickets ahead of time at www.downshift.beer events.
Do you know what I love? Well, I'm not going to say the most, but one of the things I loved about the Downshift Oktoberfest last year
was me and my lederhosen.
That, but also like the waitresses were wearing like the St. Pauli girl.
I think that's called lederhosen too, or no?
I don't know, but
yes,
you know the St. Pauli girl logo.
They looked like German beer wenches. Yeah,
right. I like that. Did you try any of the food?
Yeah, the food's delicious. They have
Did
traditional.
You have some schnitzel?
Some schnitzel. I had some bratwurst.
Bratwurst?
Or some wieners.
How about some sauerkraut?
And some sauerkraut. Really just a wonderful. Oh, and the beer. The Stein Hoisting Contest. I hosted that last year.
How do you do that?
So they get these big, the big German Steins.
Right.
And then they fill them with water. Because they don't want to waste a lot of beer. So you have to hold it out to your side.
Like this?
Arm extended.
Just one arm, or do you do two?
One, usually. And the last person standing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
How long did they go to you?
Somebody went like 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes.
Those
I think that was the
things are
longest.
heavy if they give them the biggest steins that they
Oh,
have
yeah,
there.
it's the big steins, yeah.
I'm going to have a random facts coming up later this morning. I also want to do a segment of questions, okay?
Of questions?
Yeah, I have questions. Question number 1. Peanut butter and jelly M&Ms are expected to launch soon.
Oh, hell yeah.
Are you interested in that, or does that sound disgusting?
Sounds amazing. Have you had the peanut butter ones?
No.
I think they are hands down my favorite.
Yeah, they're called Reese's Pieces.
They're much bigger and creamier than the Reese's Pieces, which I love too, but I think the peanut butter M&Ms are so good.
Peanut butter cup.
Personally,
yes.
I only consider two kinds of M&Ms legitimate. Plain or peanuts.
You don't really venture out from your comfort zone.
I
do you?
stick with what I like. Yeah. Are they going to have like little jelly inside
I wonder
inside
how
the
they're gonna
M&M?
get like the jelly and the peanut butter inside it together.
Oh,
What
it's
a time
peanut
to
butter
be
and
alive.
jelly?
Yeah, it's peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, that's insane.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
I got
That's some mad scientist stuff
It's
right
like
there.
we're in the darkest timeline, but also here's peanut butter and jelly M&Ms.
But can you imagine? There's a guy with like a doctorate degree, somebody that went to school for like 20 years, and he's in a lab somewhere like, how can I get the jelly into the peanut butter?
Can you imagine the dude like at a board meeting where they're like, what are we going to do for the next M&M? And some guy who's all high in the corner.
Yeah.
Put jelly in
Peanut butter and jelly.
Put jelly in it.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
We need our top minds.
I don't need the ones with like little pretzels inside.
Those are good too.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's the blue ones.
The blue ones?
The blue bag, yeah.
Okay. Here's a couple of questions I asked my daughter yesterday. She's starting to get into like rock music more.
Cool.
So I said, who was the most influential English band of the 1990s? And I gave her 3 options, okay?
Okay.
Coldplay, Radiohead, and she immediately said after that, Radiohead. I said, you don't want to hear who the third one? She said, no, it's Radiohead.
Was it Radiohead?
Well, I just
Wait,
it's
what's
an
the
opinion.
third one?
Oasis. She said, of course, it's Radiohead. So I bring that up to say Radiohead, who have not toured since 2018, are rehearsing. So that... you know.
Radiohead right now is experiencing this kind of like resurgence because they're all over TikTok. Like their music is all over TikTok.
But they're not putting it up necessarily.
No, it's people just using parts of Creep, other songs.
I wonder who knows more about rock music, your daughter or me?
Probably
I'm
you,
going to
but
put my
she's only...
money on Buzz's daughter.
Nope, it's me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who's the lead singer of Radiohead? Okay.
Who?
It's a band? It's not one dude. I have no idea. Who is it?
Tom York.
Tom York?
Mm-hmm. Other than Creep, name another song by Radiohead.
Joshua Tree? I don't know.
No, that's you too.
Oh, well, I got them confused.
Then I asked her,
See, I'm putting my money on Buzz's daughter.
who was the most influential American band of the 1990s? So I was going to give her 3 options.
Metallica.
I said, no,
the
Metallica
90s.
Metallica came out in the 80s, man.
Did they really?
Oh, yeah. So I was going to give her 3 options. I go Nirvana, and before I even finished saying the word, she goes Nirvana, which of course was the correct answer. They really, blew
What
up.
were your other options?
I was going to formulate those in my head.
God, so the same like questioning you do to me when I'm in your car, you're doing it to your daughter?
Oh, yeah.
Do I ask you questions like
Yeah,
that?
you do.
Well, who do you think is a more
You,
influential?
every time a song comes on, you're like, who's this? What song is this? Who sings this?
Who's this?
This is based on a video that a woman put up on TikTok. She's out by a pool at a hotel. And she says, she doesn't show the guy, but she says that there's a guy about 15 feet away from her cutting his toenails while lounging at the hotel pool.
At the pool.
Then he brushed them off his towel just onto the ground. Okay, does anybody else think that is incredibly gross? Or
Like in front of everyone?
I'm
just like sitting there, he's...
Yeah, I'm surprised you think it's gross.
Yeah, I seriously thought you were going to be like, yeah, you're
Isn't
out
this
in the open,
normal?
it's fine. I'm shocked by Buzz's answer,
Or
but
you just
also agree with
I
Buzz's
think he's
answer.
clout chasing. I think he's
clout chasing?
Yeah.
You're clout chasing?
I think you're just trying to do it because you
Are
think
you
that's
trying
how
to be like...
That's so gross, right,
But secretly
guys?
you're like, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's a little weird and off-putting that you're like at a pool and some dude.
You totally would do that, right?
No.
I feel like you would.
My feeling is you should not clip your toes in front of anybody other than
your significant
close
other.
family members. Or, like your very, very closest inner circle. I saw a video one time of a woman, and she's on a plane, and she actually did film the person sitting like one row up and across the aisle from her. This lady was clipping her damn toenails with a toenail clipper on an airplane.
That is weird.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying the
gross.
pool thing is not weird?
It's a little weird because you're like in front of everyone, you're at a pool and everything, but it's a little bit less weird than on an airplane.
Yeah. An airplane.
Ooh. Where you're like in a metal tube.
You shouldn't be surprised. Nico, I'm always on your case. Don't wear open-toed shoes to work.
Yeah, but when I'm at your house, you're always picking things off your feet, and
that's my house.
Like
Right.
you're literally pulling like giant skin scabs and making a little pile and like collecting them.
I do.
What?
Yeah.
Nope, I don't want to know.
Okay. I do that because I don't care what you think. I wouldn't do it in front of strangers.
Oh, you wouldn't?
Oh, he wouldn't do it in front of strangers.
People have been over. I'm pretty sure you're still like, whatever.
We should know less about each other, you guys.
There might have been I forgot to pick up a pile of foot pickings.
Foot. No, I'm not even going to.
Little piles,
No,
Joanna.
Of what?
Of his skin.
Of the toenails?
No, of the calluses on the bottom of his feet.
My feet are a disaster.
The heel and the
it
toes,
does.
and he'll
it
just take
cracks and it peels, and I'm always. There's a product called Cracked Heel. It's like a lotion. I put them on my feet all the time. It does no
One
good
time
at all.
I got these like foot mask things. And
Yeah, I've tried those before, too.
A week
They
later,
burn.
everything started peeling. It was weird.
Those burn. The foot masks.
Okay, they didn't burn me.
Well,
Maybe you have something going.
I might. Final.
Derek Terry, you are amazing, Derek Terry. He sent a picture of Goldfinger taking the little skin scabs off of him.
Oh my God, that's right. And I always was like, ugh.
He ate them, didn't he?
He did eat them.
I gotta give Goldmember a rewatch.
Mm-hmm. All three. Yeah.
Final question. And this is a bigger question. I wrote an article about it, but the larger question is, what is something, as far as a product goes, that went away during COVID and never came back? I'm working off an article, but they're talking about, like local restaurants and businesses that shut down. But I'm talking like very specifically, and here's my specific question. What happened to caffeine-free Dr. Pepper?
No, this is a serious question.
This is a serious question. I wrote like a 300-word article about it. And don't call in and say
sorry.
they don't send me on a wild goose chase. Not Diet Dr. Pepper.
Right. So
That's in a white and red can.
Just so everybody knows, Buzz is specifically talking about Dr. Pepper that has
The
sugar
caffeine taken out of it.
with the caffeine taken out.
It tastes exactly like Dr. Pepper.
Was it kind of like in a gold?
In a gold can. And I'm not talking, there's also a diet caffeine, and occasionally I'll see the diet caffeine, but I never just see the caffeine-free Dr. Pepper in the gold can. And I went deep into this. So
You did.
I went to both eBay and Amazon. And eBay doesn't have any there. They have every other product. They included like on your list of options that you could order. Amazon has it, but they want something like $30 for a 12-pack. So I called Dr. Pepper headquarters in Plano. And the lady I talked to was named Jan.
Okay.
And Jan said they are still making it, but depending on where you live and your distribution routes, you may not have it. I haven't seen this in any store in El Paso. Well, any of that. I shop at Albertsons, Walmart, and Target sometimes, right? Don't see them there. Same thing goes when I go to Oklahoma. Don't see the caffeine-free Dr. Pepper.
Not even at Target. Target usually has the things when you can't find them anywhere else.
Oh, he's done his research.
No.
Wow, Buzz.
I've been
You're
looking high and
passionate
low.
about this.
Right.
I'm glad
I
you found
called
something to
Dr.
be
Pepper
passionate about.
headquarters. Bring back caffeine-free Dr. Pepper. What happens when it's bedtime, but you want a Dr. Pepper
Because you don't drink water. Right?
God, no, I don't drink water. I mean, yes, I do, It's in the form of Dr. Pepper. It's got, sugar and stuff mixed up in there, but
sugar, water.
So all in
purple.
And that's another example of how I really only like one thing. I like Dr. Pepper, and I like the caffeine-free Dr. Pepper, but don't send me like halfway across town, and then I find out, it's zero sugar.
Right.
No.
He wants the sugar.
Gold can.
And the gold can.
That's right.
Joanna, so I was trying to tell Buzz yesterday that they probably figured out from all the numbers or the sales numbers.
It was probably not a big seller.
Well, yeah, it probably wasn't a big seller because the people who get diet may also want the caffeine-free. That's probably the people who are looking out for their health may be also wanting no caffeine in it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really looking out for your health, you're not even drinking.
But so Joanna, I was asking him, so why would you want full sugar Dr. Pepper, but just without the caffeine?
Because it's yummy.
Because it's a bedtime snack.
That's exactly what he told me.
Or in the middle of the night.
He wakes up in the middle of the night and he's like, well, I need some Dr. Pepper, but I don't want to stay up.
You know how you get that?
And I don't want it to be diet.
How do you feel about like Kool-Aid?
He's a pretty good comic, but
I'm for it.
No, I don't like that. I never like tea. Like people drink tea like iced tea, like crazy. Right. Disgusting. I mean, that is water that you ran through some dirt, basically.
Buzz, honey, I need you to drink some water.
You don't like it. I don't like the way it tastes.
You have the taste of a 13-year-old boy. Like,
I do like boobs. Anyway, if you know where the gold cans are,
someone let Buzz know where the gold cans
please.
are.
You check my article out at KLAQ.com. Let's take a break. When we come back, Nico at Jimmy and has news headlines coming up next.
The presidential debate pulled in 67 million viewers. I'll have details next in news.
Hey, it's Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Chase.com/. More of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
All right, we'll get to news headlines with Nico at Jimmy and coming up here in just a few minutes. Hey, I finally tracked down what Trump was talking about in the debate when he said that Kamala Harris wants to give transgender surgery to illegal immigrants in prison.
Which sounded crazy when you just mentioned it like that. But I found the clip, and she's talking about how she helped provide just health care for inmates who may have identified as transgender. I don't think that's necessarily the smoking gun.
Sounded like a crazy thing to say, like some kind of woke version of Mad Libs.
Well, I think it's a health issue. I don't think it's necessarily a social issue.
Of all the things Trump said, he was not completely wrong about the transgender surgery for illegal immigrants in prison.
And suddenly the memes make sense.
A little bit. Also,
how about, have you seen the memes? I guess I missed this part of the debate. I called up the head of the Taliban, Abdul, and I said, Abdul, don't kill any Americans. And I sent him a picture of his own house. Did you see that part?
Well, apparently.
And people are trying to figure out who is Abdul.
No. Mike Pompeo, his former Secretary of State, has come out and said, that was me. Trump didn't do that.
Oh, send a picture of Abdul.
He said it was me who sent the picture of the home.
Oh, okay.
I think he's also one of the former president's cabinet members that is no longer on best terms with him.
Pompeo?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Navarro who went to jail for him.
Yeah. Hey, in our app chat, a lot of people are letting you know where you can get that caffeine gold, $34 for a 12-pack at Walmart.
No, I'm not doing that. First of all, that's probably like vintage pre-pandemic caffeine-free Dr. Pepper. It's probably like 5 years old.
I'm not risking it. So I think Charlie was the one who said the Walmart app sells it for $34. But sometimes on the Walmart app, if you order it, It'll tell you like, oh, yeah, here. But then when you finally get your stuff, it tells you, we didn't have this, so we replaced it with this.
Joanna, it's only for shipping. You can't get it anywhere in town.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I think that's
So
probably
I'm
what-
right, though.
$34.
$34 for 12 fluid ounce
And
cans.
I'm willing to bet, because I did this on eBay to check it, because they had it as an option. When you try to order it, they say exactly what Joanna said. This option is unavailable right now. So even the ones that say online, who has seen the gold can, caffeine-free Dr. Pepper with their own eyes within the last 6 months?
I
And
have not.
somebody
No.
said, go try Whole Foods. They don't
Or
have
Sprouts.
They don't have Dr. Pepper at Whole Foods
At
or
Whole
Sprouts.
They're
Foods or
supposed to
Sprouts?
stock healthier options.
Yeah. They have like some kind of hippie kombucha based soda or something. It's just awful.
Joanna,
They certainly don't have
Buzz
Dr.
is looking
Pepper.
for his caffeine-free Dr. Pepper. Tex is asking the question that I have: what happened to the Little Debbie fudge brownies with the walnuts?
Did those disappear
Those
during
are
the
gone.
pandemic?
I mean, cosmic brownies are still good, but the ones with the walnuts were delicious, and
Wow.
I haven't seen them since the pandemic.
you know your snacks.
Yeah.
Also, since the pandemic, Taco Cabana doesn't open until I'm already at work. It used to be open when I would come into work, and I'd stop occasionally and get
I
the
know. Things
eggs
just
Mexicana.
don't stay open that late anymore.
Joanna, do you want to read the first? or
Friggin'
the-
Burger King doesn't open till 7, man.
do you want to?
It's true.
Do you want to read the newest app chat message, Joanna?
Which one?
The brand by Funeral Woman.
No, I was going to tell you about that one.
Okay, I'm going to read it then.
Well, if Joanna's
Censor
not willing
yourself.
to read it.
Okay. Wakala Buzz, picking his feet and not drinking water is a turnoff. I won't suck his pee. Who knows?
Come on.
Wait, it gets better.
Who knows the taste of his meko?
Dude, boogers?
Oh, those are mocos.
Oh.
Still deal with his pickings around the home? No question.
What?
I like how you're putting like an accent on her.
Just because it's
she's Puerto Rican. I don't know. This is my version of a Puerto Rican.
Wait, how do you know
accent.
she's Puerto Rican?
This is what I'm doing. I don't know who the person is. I'm just saying I'm the Puerto Rican.
All right.
No question why he's single.
Look, every gross thing people do in the privacy of their own home.
course, I
People
know.
pick their nose, and if you're going to do it, you do it in your own home. The
Do
question
you at
wasn't about
least
doing
before a
it.
date drink at least like, I don't know, pineapple juice or something?
No, it probably tastes like Dr. Pepper. You know that?
But with the sugar in it.
Yeah.
And caffeine.
And no caffeine.
Mecco-free Dr. Pepper. That's what I'm looking for.
Ridiculous.
What an absurd conversation.
You're
Anyway,
the one who brought up your caffeine-free Dr. Pepper.
they
And your
discontinued
toenail
it,
clippings.
and I think Jan at the headquarters in Plano might have been lying to me. I don't know if they're even still making the stuff.
The fun is about to begin.
Here is Nico Jimian with news headlines. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning.
A letter to Postmaster General Louis DeJoy from state and local elections officials from almost half of the states in the U.S. warned that the Postal Service has ongoing delivery issues that could risk disenfranchising voters. The letter said that the officials have raised questions over the last year about problems with service and urged the USPS to act quickly in order to fix its deficiencies. In a statement, the director of election mail and government services for USPS, Adrian Marshall, said the service is ready to deliver and that it's currently delivering mail in 2.7 days.
I love when somebody comes out and rants against voting by mail, and then you find out, oh, they voted by mail. And I'm not just talking about the former president here. Elon Musk is doing the same thing.
He votes
Elon
by
Musk
mail.
has voted by mail. Yeah.
He moves around so much, I imagine.
Soldiers overseas
Absolutely, yeah.
vote by mail.
If you're just living overseas, you're American, you're still allowed to vote.
You know, people who are homebound. You know, there are all kinds of reasons. Also, it's convenient. You know,
It's convenient, yeah.
But when you hear people criticizing voting by mail, there's a good chance they voted by mail.
Shortly after Tuesday's debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, the Harris campaign called for another debate. Trump, on the other hand, is not convinced. Talking to ABC News, he said, well, she wants a second debate because she lost very badly. The former president said he's looking at polls and bragged about what he says is a lead over Harris, but that's not necessarily true. Talking to Sean Hannity on Fox News, Trump said, "I sort of think maybe I shouldn't do it." All right.
Do you want to hear the audio?
Sure. Do you want me to play it? I
didn't know if you were getting to it.
Yeah.
No, we're looking at it, but, when you win, you don't really necessarily have to do it a second time. So we'll see. But we had I thought we had a great debate this time. When you don't win, it's like a fighter. When a fighter has a bad fight, gets knocked out, or loses the fight, the first thing he says is, "We want a rematch."
He's still going with he won the debate bigly.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. Well, once again, there's dissension in the Republican ranks in the House of Reps, with the deadline coming at the end of the month to fund the federal government or see it shut down. House Speaker Mike Johnson has attached the SAVE Act to the funding bill. The SAVE Act would overhaul voting laws and require people to show proof of citizenship when registering to vote. However, Johnson's reportedly getting some pushback from other Republicans, and yesterday he pulled the bill from even a vote at all. He said his leadership team would be working through the weekend to get everyone on board. Here is Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
We're going to continue to work on this. The whip is going to do the hard work and build consensus. We're going to work through the weekend on that. And I want any member of Congress in either party to explain to the American people why we should not ensure that only U.S. citizens are voting in U.S. elections.
And when Taylor Swift calls the Swifties to do something, they respond. Tay's post endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris after the debate on Tuesday drove a ton of traffic to the website vote.gov, which is run by the government. The site includes information about how to register to vote and how to cast a ballot. At least 330,000 people used the link on Taylor Swift's website as of 2 p.m. yesterday. It's not the first time Taylor's used her platform to drive her fans to register. Last year, more than 35,000 people signed up at vote.org. And it's easy. Were you going to say something?
No, I just been getting a few calls. After I said, to my surprise, I looked up the transgender surgeries for illegal immigrants in prison just because it sounded like such an outlandish thing. And I guess in 2019, Kamala was running for president in 2019, and she did a questionnaire from the American Civil Liberties Union. One of the questions was, do you support gender-affirming care for people in custody, including prisoners and illegal immigrants? And in 2019, she filled it out. Yes, she did.
Oh, I didn't know it was about illegal immigrants. Was she saying that about illegal immigrants? I thought she was just saying
people
that about...
in immigration.
I thought she was just saying that in prison.
Trump kind of lumped both of them together, but the questionnaire said people in custody for immigration violation and people in, citizens in prison, should they be given access to gender-affirming care? And Kamala answered, so I've just been getting... After I said that, it has brought the kooks out of the woodworks. So do you want to hear a couple of the calls?
I kind of want to finish.
Right, because you want to leave early.
My stomach hurts.
Okay. All right, well.
It's easy to panic when you realize they're coming to repossess your vehicle, but a Michigan man didn't make a good choice for what to do about it. Police in Harrison Township arrested a man just after 9 a.m. on Tuesday after receiving a call about a suspicious situation. When they arrived at his home, police found a propane tank in the passenger seat of a vehicle with a wire running from the propane tank to the inside of the car. Another propane tank was strapped to the front driver's side wheel of the car with more wiring running underneath.
Wait, the guy rigged a bomb up to his car so they wouldn't repossess it?
Yes.
Is that illegal?
Yes.
You can't put an anti-theft device on your own vehicle?
There were also multiple signs saying the vehicle would blow up if anybody touched it. The bomb squad checked it out and found that the whole thing was a hoax. The wires didn't go anywhere. It was all just a scam.
So it wasn't a real bomb?
No. The 45-year-old was arrested on a charge of device representing or presented as an explosion. I guess that's the same thing as bomb threat.
Didn't know that was a crime.
Bomb threat, I assume.
He was asking if the tow truck was a repo truck, and then we saw him working on his car. Woke up to him putting propane tanks in his car, saying that he was going to blow it up.
So he had a piece of cardboard in his windshield that said, "Don't move, car, it will blow up."
That's insane. And finally, a naked guy is terrorizing women at a New Jersey apartment complex and a nearby walking trail. The man, wearing only a ski mask, keeps following them. South Brunswick police say the incident started in the middle of the night when a nude dude approached residents and touched himself. On Tuesday, he decided to surprise a woman walking her dog in broad daylight. There have been a half dozen reports of the odd behavior at this apartment complex, and it's been going on for months. And he is still at large.
All right.
With your news, I'm Nico.
Here's the one call that I was talking about. So, by the way, there's still no evidence, and the authorities, both the police in Springfield, Ohio, and the Republican governor of the state say that the claim that Haitian immigrants are killing and eating people's pets.
Eating the cats, eating the dogs.
They say it's not true.
Hey, morning show. You're talking about things that Trump was right about.
Is this Daddy D?
Yep.
I'm coming to the conclusion that Daddy D falls for a lot of online hoaxes. Like, he is just constantly falling for fake videos.
Daddy D is the one who called in yesterday saying that Trump crushed it and just wiped the floor with, like.
I also speculate that Daddy Delicious might be like an undercover Democrat, like maybe even a member of Antifa who's just trying to make Republicans look like idiots. But Daddy D calls in frequently, and a lot of times it's like all you have to do is enter it in Google and it'll say whatever he's talking about has been debunked already.
Just this morning, I'm watching a video where the caption says, "Nobody's eating people's pets." Meanwhile, in Ohio, and it shows a video from a police cam, those body cams, and they're arresting this woman that was, at the very least, killed a cat. And apparently bystanders are saying she was eating the cat. And she had, you could see her teeth were tinged red as if she was eating the raw flesh of this cat. So, more fake news. More fake news.
It is fake news, Daddy.
Just like,
D.
you know, the
It's fake
FBI
news.
not reporting half of the child exploitation cases. And
what?
Cities have stopped sending their criminal data to the FBI data center.
This is like a far-right talking point that the reason crime is down is because cities are no longer sending the information to the FBI.
You mean it's not because crime is down? No, because that doesn't fit into my worldview.
So you enter "no one is eating cats" video. The first thing that comes up is from a news station.
Nobody's eating. Okay, I should re-speak because Buzz, you said this yesterday. What happens when they find one person who has eaten a cat? And I'm like, you're right. What are the statistics out of 340 million
well, you don't
people?
Smear an entire group of people. There's
Right.
20,000 Haitian refugees, not illegal immigrants.
Right.
They have temporary protected status because Haiti has gone to hell. And so the police in Springfield, Ohio say they've never gotten a report of it. And the governor says it's not true. But anyway, the stupid video has already been debunked. The video shows a woman. It's not Springfield. It's Canton. Also, she's not a Haitian immigrant. People are sharing this video. But Daddy D, there's a thing called Google. And you go on Google and you enter the thing that you believe to be true, and then you read the results.
And you check it.
And you then you apply some kind of critical thinking, which I think might be your bugaboo. That might be the thing. You're just not a good critical thinker. So you look at the deal, and then you check it out on Snopes, and you've got.
It's not an immigrant, a Haitian immigrant.
It's not a Haitian immigrant. There's a video of a woman, but she's not a Haitian immigrant. She's an African American, which is the danger of this. When you paint with such a broad brush and say such a ridiculous thing, you're just smearing, by extension, an entire race of people.
Right.
You know, Daddy, the stuff, I can't imagine. By the way, Trump said during the debate that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have intentionally let crime soar. And he's right about that. It's so bad, I hear. There's a criminal actually running for president of the United States. That's how bad things are.
Oh, people are already saying that on the app chat. That guy's an idiot. The video's from 3 years ago.
The video's from 3 years ago, before there were any Haitian refugees in Ohio.
She was an American in Canton.
Oh, plot twist.
Not the right city.
Big Daddy D is a clown.
Big Daddy D.
Daddy D is a Trump D writer.
Yeah, but I think he believes what he says he believes. And that points to, there are certain reputable websites that I go to for sources. Snopes is one of them. The Skeptoid podcast with Brian Dunning is another one. I go to them because they've rarely, if ever, given me a bum steer. The first time that Brian Dunning does a podcast and he's wrong about something, that might change my thinking. Same thing with Snopes. But those are reputable sources because I'm not constantly finding out, I was wrong about it. Daddy D, you're just not great at thinking. You're not good at applying critical thinking skills. Let me put it that way.
Have you guys noticed that Harris cheated? She was using earbuds and people were feeding her information and the answers.
Which idiot is this?
Not a regular.
No, that's not Smooth Brain?
No, I can't tell whose voice that is.
So they're saying that her earrings were secretly earbuds and they were giving her the answers.
Right.
So it's almost like you're admitting she did well at the debate then? Because in the same breath, you're saying Trump won the debate, but then you're saying she cheated because she had...
But the biggest point that I see online that I just laugh, just ridiculous, is people are like, she sounded too well prepared. Like she had the questions before.
Of course.
Do you know how easy to predict those questions were going to be? This is how politics used to be.
It's called debate.
You used to get it's called debate
She
prep.
said at the beginning near the beginning of the debate, you're going to hear a lot about illegal immigration, even if that's not the question asked.
Right.
And she was exactly right about that. Okay, so here's the concerning thing. You got these people that are calling in, and for whatever reason, they're willing to believe these outlandish things.
Yeah, have you guys noticed that Harris cheated? She was using earbuds and people were feeding her information and the answers.
Really?
Take a look at her earrings. The design that they were, her earrings are really earbuds.
Okay, so you hear that kind of stuff and you're thinking, these people don't...
You can't accept she did well on her own.
These are not rational, reasonable people.
Right.
Right? But then you stop and think...
Everything has to be rigged against Trump.
Even if Kamala wins and Trump loses, which is not a guarantee, but if that were to happen, it's still concerning that you've got at least 80 million people in this country who... this doesn't shake them. That are willing to believe this sort of stuff. We really got to have a conversation of what's going to happen if Trump loses. You still got about half of the country who's cool with all of this stuff.
And that is why they are amping up security on January 6th.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine.
All right. Why January 6th? Because that's when they're going to be certified?
Right. I think I saw something
Yeah,
on CNN
I guess
that.
the loser, if Trump loses again, which he did in 2020, if he loses again, what's to stop him from going on social media and telling people, go do it again?
I think it was CNN who said, regardless of who wins, they're just amping up security.
Just in case.
All right. So, Daddy D, I will do this for you. I will send you a one-page on how to apply critical thinking skills.
And we'll even put
as
up
it pertains to video. First of all,
you'll even put up the source of the video.
Number one, be very skeptical of anything you see on TikTok or YouTube.
Especially if it confirms a belief that you're thinking.
Yeah, especially if it confirms what you want to believe anyway. That, I could give you 10 commandments of how to think right. I will do that for you.
I just think better than other people.
Homelander over here.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. Come back with more of the Buzz Adams Morning Show right after this.
While you're working away, we're working for you.
Subject to driver availability based on purchase, exclusions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Broadcasting in El Paso to El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
So Nico left. Nico wasn't feeling well, so that's why he took off. I think he's also mad at me because I called to ask him if he came back to my house and took the rest of the beers out of my fridge, because somebody did. I'm like, did you come over today? And no.
Did he get all mad?
Yeah, oh yeah, he was really mad.
You guys got to stop fighting over the beer, all right?
I'm going to get a lock. I mean, I really am. That's what I got to do. I can't just keep going and buying like 18 packs and 24 packs, and I only get to drink like 2 of them before they're gone.
Oh, both of you.
I got to talk to the yard guy. I think maybe he helps himself, which, if you ask, I would say, yeah, of course.
You won't deny someone the beer.
I won't. Sure, I'm a gracious host, even to the guy that I pay to work on my yard. And I don't have any, I still think it's probably Nico. And also, he tries to gaslight me so many times.
It's like you both are working towards gaslighting each other.
Well, you got to gaslight a gaslighter. That's the only way to deal with it.
That's the only way to
beat them at their own game. Thing that can start a bad gaslighter is a good gaslighter. We have some calls off the neckline.
Oh, we did get a call from our good friend Augustine, who says you could find your caffeine-free Dr. Pepper.
Probably in Juarez.
In Juarez, yeah. And he says he'll take you.
I wonder if I could give Augustine like $100 and he could bring back the caffeine-free Dr. Pepper. Also, is it like the Coke from Mexico? It's made with real sugar, which I guess some people like that. It's too damn sweet for me, man.
It gives it a different flavor for sure.
It has a different flavor. I personally don't care for it.
Go with Augustine to Juarez to get your caffeine-free Dr. Pepper, and then on the way back, stop at Pastijel and get me some pan dulce.
Some what?
Pastijel.
What's that, like a prescription?
No, it's a bakery.
Hey, good morning, Marshall. Hey, did you hear Kamala cheated because she combed her hair and had dinner the night before? Some of these calls, man, it's like... But seriously, how many people are going to get their minds changed because of these debates? Do you all think it's a lot of people? Have a good one.
Yeah, no, I mean, by now you know what Trump's all about. And you, even if you don't know that much about... Trump is one of the most famous men on the planet. People know he's a known quantity. People may not know as much about Kamala, but, at this point, I think you've got enough information. I'm very surprised that I hear there are undecided voters at this point in the election.
I think at the end of the debate, they had undecided voters talking, and there was one that was like, oh, well, I think I have made my choice. And then one of them was like, I still don't know who I'm voting for.
I mean, I hate to say it because it's how it's going to sound, but it really is a black and white choice. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Good morning, guys. Just calling in about this guy, whatever his name is, Trump Daddy's boy, or whatever the F his name is. I think at this point we just need to start ignoring these people, right? Let them talk to themselves and stop giving them the spotlight, stop giving them the mic, because it's ridiculous at this point. It's sad that these people don't have a train of thought. They can't think on their own. They don't want to do the research. They want to just believe whatever this man is telling them.
Oh, well, let me tell you, according to them, they do their research. We're the ones who don't.
Other side that
just don't go to the same sources they do. And the reason I don't is because they are disreputable. You know,
not the most reliable.
If I'm at a site where it is telling me exactly what I want to hear, and it's it's confirming all my biases, right?
Yes.
At some point, I'm going to feel the need to go to another source just to get the other side of the deal.
Because it kind of makes you feel like this is too good to be true.
You don't want to live in a bubble, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's like that one person you see in the street that chooses to be homeless, doing drugs or whatever, and he's talking to himself. You're not going to sit there and listen to what they're saying. You're going to kind of move along because...
Should I just not play those calls? I mean, I have a feeling these people are proud of how they feel. They would feel insulted that I am shadow banning them or that, I haven't put an ODG call on since he kind of went full on
That hasn't
anti-Jew.
stopped him from calling in, though.
He's still calling in. If he can knock it off with the anti-Semitism, maybe, but that's all his calls are just like railing and talking about the Jews and the blood libel and all this stuff. I can't. And actually, I other calls from ODG, I like his calls. Some of them are very, very funny. He's the guy who did the Kristi Noem impersonation that was so funny.
That was good.
You know it's the right thing to do. You know they're not making sense. So at this point, I think we need to do the same thing with these people. Stop listening to them and just let them blab on and let's go on our day with facts and reality. You guys have a good one. Bye.
But this, our show is one of the shows where we have all kinds of listeners. We have people that call in that are very passionately for Trump and some who can't stand him. You probably don't get that a lot on Fox. If you watch Fox or if you only watch CNN, but we have a good mix. And I just have to say, these guys aren't alone. I mean, the margin is still razor thin. So there are, 80 million Americans voted for Trump in the last election. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, 81 million voted for Biden. So they still haven't been able to come to terms with that. We haven't heard from, this is a former regular caller we haven't heard from in a while.
Oh. Trump did absolutely wipe the floor with Kamala. Oh. I love how the first question for Kamala was, is the economy better now or was it better under Trump? And she just absolutely ignored the question when about her growing up.
Okay, but Padilla, did you notice every time they asked Trump about anything, it was illegal immigrants are being allowed into our country. I mean...
It was just him taking like these kind of trigger points.
Yeah.
Saying them out loud just to get a reaction.
About her growing up in a middle-class family when she had a nanny. Her family could afford to pay a nanny to raise her. And also...
her opponent got $1 million loan from his father to start his business. Kamala was...
And your criticism is she had a nanny.
She had a nanny. People have babysitters, Padilla. That's a thing people do.
And also, the news guys were against Trump, fact-checking him. But Kamala didn't lie once because she didn't get fact-checked once.
I'll go so far as to say Kamala Harris did a little bit of what politicians have been doing for a long time, which is putting a spin on things or saying things without complete context.
Uh-huh.
When she said that we had highest rate of unemployment since the Great Depression during Trump's administration, technically that's true, but the context is COVID happened during Trump's term. You remember when so many people lost their job, the government mailed millions and millions of Americans checks?
Yeah.
But, come on. They're eating cats and dogs in Springfield.
And she lied multiple times on things. She, not on purpose, maybe not on purpose, but she did get some stuff wrong that never got fact-checked.
Well, like some of the stuff they're saying is, Trump didn't tell those people to go riot on January 6th. Yes, he did.
I mean,
he did. I watched TV all day long. I was glued to the TV. I saw it happen before my eyes. Don't tell me what I saw.
And, you guys just cherry pick everything about Trump, but not one thing about Kamala.
She said that when her and Biden got in office, they had the highest rate of inflation since the Great Depression, I think. That's not actually true. It's close. I mean, it was high, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, you guys are like totally one-sided, biased.
Oh, boy. Okay. God, just the lack of any kind of self-awareness.
100%. Anyways, Trump's going to win. Later.
Okay. Thank you, Padilla. Good to hear from you.
He'll win
son.
if you vote. Don't forget to vote. Make sure you're registered to vote.
Oh, yes. We had some calls from earlier, things we were talking about. I think I mentioned that because they had the Video Music Awards last night.
Yeah.
That I was part of the first generation of MTV viewers.
Ooh, you were one of those, I want my MTV.
I wasn't into it the way some people were. Like I didn't get the appeal of sitting and watching video after video after video.
Yeah?
No, I never got into that.
You didn't want to see the countdown, see who was number one for that week? Because in
maybe
Full
for 10
House,
minutes.
it was very important to DJ.
Oh, to see who the number one.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning show. Hey, Bud, you said that you were part of the first MTV generation. Were the videos in black and white? Also, did you guys run away from the TV when you saw a train because you thought it was going to run over you there? I'm just kidding. Good morning, guys.
In the olden times, Buzz, did you get scared that the train was going to pop out of the TV?
You know that is a true story that one of the first old movies, silent movies, had a train and people in the theater jumped out of the way.
They thought the train was going to come out. Yeah, at them.
I've heard of that before. That's a good reference, dude. That's a great phone call. Thank you. We talked about tomorrow being Friday the 13th. By the way, got some tickets for baseball.
We do.
How are we on breaks? Do we have only one more left this hour?
No,
or we have two more? Okay. Why don't we go ahead and give those away?
Okay.
This is a 4-pack of tickets to tomorrow's game. It is Friday the 13th. Ew. Will the Chihuahuas get lucky? We got a 4-pack of tickets, and let me finish the rest of the call because Nico asked you, you're so into Halloween. Do you do anything special when it's Friday the 13th? And you said, not really.
Not really.
Maybe watch Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, guys. A few minutes ago, Buzz, you asked if anybody celebrates Friday the 13th.
Nico did.
And I actually do, in a way, but not in the way that you probably visualized it. To me, Friday the 13th isn't about spooky or scary. 13 is my favorite number. If I were superstitious, I'd say it's my lucky number, but I'm not superstitious because it's bad luck to be superstitious. But
what'd he say?
It's bad luck to be superstitious.
Yeah, I think he's right. It is bad luck.
I do on Friday the 13th. If possible, I try to plan a trip to Vegas. During that one, I won't be there tomorrow.
That doesn't surprise me, Ian.
Is that your cousin?
That's cousin Ian, yeah.
Because I was there last week. But I am going to go to Sunland Park Casino tomorrow after work. And that's my Friday the 13th ritual. Go and gamble.
All right.
You guys have a good one.
He loves gambling.
A 4-pack of tickets can be yours. Call us now. Make sure you call in the studio line, not the neckline. Here's the studio line number. It's 915-910-4995. That's 915-910-4995. I don't care. Caller number 10 will send you and 3 guests with a family 4-pack of tickets to see the Chihuahuas play tomorrow at Southwest University Park.
Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, Glenn Garza and Daniel Paulus.
Explore our careers page on Unlock Your Potential today.
Visit elpasotexas.gov/careers.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
We got a winner there for the Chihuahuas tickets for tomorrow?
We did. Yeah, okay. Alejandro was our winner.
Should we do an experiment? I've never done this, but there have been different clubs that on Friday the 13th, these are people who are skeptical and superstitious. stuff. They do things like walk under a ladder,
Oh, like they'll purposely do the things that they say are bad luck.
spill salt, and then not throw some over your shoulder. Yeah,
Let
do you remember
a black
that one?
cat
A black
cross
cat
you.
cross you. What if we did like 20 of those things, and then we report back on Monday if anything bad happened to
Over
us?
the weekend? Yeah.
Yeah,
we
but
should do that.
I don't think anybody takes Friday right. Nobody sincerely, nobody above the age of like 5 believes that one day is more unlucky or whatever, right?
Yeah, probably.
The statistics do not bear that out. I heard back from Daddy Delicious.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, so he called in and said that he had seen a video of a Haitian immigrant eating a cat. And went on from there. So we did a Google search and plenty of debunk came up. It turns out that woman was not Haitian. Also, it was 3 years ago. And it wasn't even in Springfield, Ohio. It was in Canton, Ohio. So Daddy D called back. Listen, he left a 5-minute message. There's no way I can play this whole thing.
What have we said are the rules?
Try and keep him to a minute, man. Really, that if it's longer than a minute, call in so we can have a conversation. You know, I can't play a 10-minute call or a 5-minute call.
Hey, well, I think you could cut me some slack considering the woman did look Haitian.
You mean she was black? No, I'm not cutting you any slack because it took me 1 second. It took me 5 seconds to type in the thing and say, oh, yeah, it's been...
Can you blame me? She was black.
She was black. Daddy D, do you realize how...
Damn it, Daddy D.
Do you realize how racist that is?
Oh, my
she looks
God.
Haitian.
And apparently she was eating the cat. I don't know if you mentioned that. She murdered and ate that cat.
Yeah,
that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about mentally ill people, which is probably what this woman was. I mean, she obviously had some issues.
Something was wrong with that
You're talking
woman.
specifically about Haitian immigrants killing people's pets. God,
And
admit when you're wrong.
Your
Just
best way to
is like,
justify it is, well,
all black
she was
people look
black.
Haitian.
Jesus.
All right.
Oh my God, that is a long ass call.
He gets
I just
into
saw the waveform.
so he defends his critical thinking skills, and it gets into 9/11 conspiracies, 9/11 being an inside job, all the different times. Yeah, it gets into the government has lied to you in the past. Yes, they have. But if you're making an outrageous, this is one of the rules that I would include, Daddy D. If you want me to send the rules, if your claim is outrageous, the burden of proof is on you. It's called the null hypothesis. So the null hypothesis is we sent men to the moon and we did it several times and they came back and took soil samples. If you're going to say it was all fake, we didn't do it. The burden of proof is not on the null hypothesis. It's not on me. It's on you.
Right.
If you claim the earth is flat instead of round, the burden of proof is not on every scientist. It's on you. You're making the outrageous claim. So it goes on and on. Yes, the government has lied to us.
For sure.
Yes, the media has gotten things wrong before. That doesn't mean all your common sense has to go out the window, though. Nobody has been able to, except for, I got to make a trip to Juarez with Augustine. Nobody's been able to find my caffeine-free Dr. Pepper. Not diet, not Dr. Pepper Zero. It's a gold can. It went away during COVID and never came back.
Hey, what's up, morning show? Wrestler guy. Buzz, the Mexican Coca-Cola is too sweet for you? Bro, that is like the best Coca-Cola in the world is the one from Mexico. Like that, that's an addiction right there. Like that Coca-Cola is so good. I literally have one like every single day. I could drink them all day, every day if I could, but one every day is not bad. But still, like that's like the best soda in the world. Just saying.
Yeah.
You said that it tastes different to you.
It does taste different. Yeah.
Too sweet. You know where they sell them? Sometimes at Sam's.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They'll have the Mexican cane sugar.
You're not the
soda.
only one jonesing for your caffeine-free. Terry in our fan chat says that you can't find caffeine-free Coca-Cola either because if you'll remember, there was an aluminum can shortage during the pandemic.
Sure. Yeah, there were a lot of things that went away.
Distributing different types of different flavored
They
sodas.
probably axed their less popular varieties.
But Buzz Adams is here to say,
I will vote
bring
for
it back.
whichever presidential candidate vows to bring back caffeine. That's,
it's Trump.
You want to talk about, if he did
I'm
that.
gonna bring back caffeine Dr. Pepper.
Make America great again, sir. Make America great again. One other call.
Hey, Buzz, I'm just barely tuning in right now, and it's funny that you think Nico's taking your beer, dude. Honestly, I think it's your gardener, bro. I really think it's your gardener. Or maybe you have like a raccoon that's a drunk in the neighborhood, and there's a raccoon that found your stash, bro. Have a good one, guys.
Buzz is like, nah, it's Nico.
Well, first of all, I've seen Nico do it. And I wouldn't put it past Nico to have told the gardener, help yourself. Yeah, that would just be perfectly on brand for Nico. Take as many as you want. They're not his, right?
Yeah. He's trying to be hospitable.
Remember when we were talking about all the beer going missing whenever Nico visits? And somebody called in and said, I've seen Nico like at a bar and he nurses the same drink like for an hour. And somebody called in with a really good point. Yeah, that's at a bar. He has to pay for those.
Oh, good point. So, yeah, he's nursing that beer.
I don't speak enough Spanish, and my gardener doesn't speak enough English for me to really have this conversation with him. But I would ask him, hey, did Nico tell you could take as many, because
you tell him, like, hey, help yourself to a beer. And then maybe he'll be like, oh, yeah, Nico already told me.
I don't mean help yourself to all of them. Jeez.
You're going to have to start stashing them again.
I feel like
I remember
oftentimes...
Nico said, he'd be like, Buzz has hidey holes where he stashes
I used to,
beer.
but now I have an outdoor refrigerator that my mom and my brother got me for my birthday, and I put them out there. I got to get a padlock for it. But about raccoons...
Yes.
If I leave the garage door open, raccoons get in, and I've caught them in there before, and they're working as a team, like 4 or 5 of them, and they're trying to open up the dog food. Like, I got a thing of dog food in my garage. And I have also found the bag of dog food with the telltale little raccoon scratches on it in my front yard. So they work together. I'm not lying. They must have worked together as a team.
Wow.
And they were trying to drag it home with them.
Those raccoons work better as a team than we do.
We should have domesticated raccoons a long time ago, man. Wouldn't that be great if you're just like, hey,
go get me a beer, little raccoon, little buddy.
Go get me a tissue. It's in the other room. Whatever.
With their little hands.
Yeah, with their little hands. Right. You got to watch out for those raccoons. They could get into stuff for sure.
Snarl.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More of the Buzz Adams Morning Show's on the way right after this.
Hey, this is Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from Ozzy to Pearl
towels and a 5th gift card. Plus, you could win an autographed Troy Aikman football. A is truly light beer made right.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Okay, let's hit it.
Joanna Barba and the Hollywood Cheese May coming up in just a few minutes. Joanna, you're all set to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about CASA, Court Appointed Special Advocates, which is a great charitable organization. It's one that was on our list of charities for Million Coins for Kids, and it benefits children primarily, kids who are in bad situations and need some kind of help appearing in court because they're children. Oftentimes, their family members are not able to do it. So here from CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates, is Viviana Silva, who is the training director. Hi, Viviana. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. Hello. Can you click on the, do you see a switch over there?
To your right there, a little gold box with a switch on it. A little lower.
Okay.
Right there.
Good morning.
There we go. That's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's Nico's fault. Hi, Viviana. You're the training director for CASA of El Paso.
Yes.
Now, when you hear that, it's like somebody to go to court. People would think you're looking for attorneys. You're looking for people who've passed the bar, but that is not the case, right?
No,
not necessarily.
No, not at all. And it's interesting that you say that because and that's what some people may think. You're correct. But no, our advocates come from all walks of life. Some work full-time, part-time, they're retired, they're stay-at-home parents. Our volunteers are just open-minded people, patient, with good communication skills. Really, it's anybody that has time that can give to children in need.
So what kind of things would you do as a special advocate?
So as a special.
Yeah.
So
you're not going to be making legal arguments, for instance.
No. And so what our advocates really do is they really get to know the child on a one-on-one so that they really get to know what the child needs. If there's any emotional needs, any educational needs, anything like that, they'll really get to know the children. And when it comes to court, then that's what they'll present to court. Our advocates, they talk to everyone and anyone involved in the child's life. So they talk to the teachers, attorneys, therapists, and once they gather all that information, then they'll write court reports and they'll give those recommendations to the judge. And the judge, that helps the judge, decide what's in the child's best interest.
Is this purely on a voluntary basis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
It's probably not for everybody. It takes probably a very specific temperament. You're probably gonna find out some things that might be upsetting to a lot of people. So tell me some of the characteristics and traits that you really look for in a court-appointed special advocate.
So you are right. And we do training. So it really helps them to get familiarized. We have a lot of policies that we go over as well so that they do feel comfortable when it comes to interacting with the children and going to the schools and really playing a role in the court system. And in our court system, the judges do want to talk to our advocates. So they do ask them in court what the recommendations are. And so we have our advocates, they're prepared, they're ready to answer the judge. And really when we so the process is they'll go to CasaofElPaso.org and they'll apply there. Once we get the application, we'll review it. We'll set up an interview with them. And then once they've gone through everything, they've passed the background checks.
How long does the training take?
So it's 30 hours. It's 30 hours and half of it is done online on Casa College. The other half is done in person with me. We do offer morning classes. We do offer evening classes as well.
All right. So if you're interested in doing that, you gave the portal there again. What's the website you go to?
CasaofElPaso.org.
CasaofElPaso.org. I really believe in your mission. Kids are extremely vulnerable. They're in a position in a lot of times that they don't want to be in, and they don't really have anybody going to bat for them. So that's if that's the kind of person you are and you have, you're able to do that, definitely think about being a court-appointed special advocate. Well, thank you, Viviana, very much. Viviana Silva is the training director for Casa of El Paso. Thanks, Viviana, for dropping by today.
Thank you, Buzz.
Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mess. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mess. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mess. Joanna, tell us more.
Here is Joanna Barba with Hollywood News. It's our Hollywood Cheesemate. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Well, new reports everywhere are saying The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has become Hulu's most watched unscripted season premiere of the year so far, based on just 3 days of streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus. You guys contributed to that.
A little bit.
This is all according to Disney internal data. The series follows the scandalous world of a group of Mormon mom influencers led by the self-acclaimed Mom Talk founder, Taylor Frankie Paul.
I watched one episode, just enough to let you know that it is hot garbage.
Yeah.
You're not going to go back?
I'm not going to watch anymore. I can't.
I may watch some of it. It also says it implodes when they get caught in the midst of a swinging sex scandal that makes international headlines. Apparently, I read a report that one of the husbands got fired after the swinging
one of the
came to
husbands
light.
got fired?
Yeah, I didn't get to see which husband got fired from his job, but
is that legal?
I have no idea. But it was after the whole swinger scandal came out. I'm going to have to start watching that. Judd Apatow has been attached to direct the upcoming movie Cola Wars about the battle between Coke and Pepsi for market share in the 1980s. According to Deadline, Steven Spielberg will produce it. The project is currently in the early stages of development at Sony, which reportedly acquired it for over $1 million in April. Ben Queen and Jason Schumann are set to write Cola Wars. Schumann co-created the Apple TV Plus series Acapulco and served as an executive producer on Winning Time. Deadline previously described the movie as a behind-the-scenes account of Pepsi's attempt to challenge Coca-Cola's century-long reign as the world's top cola, sparking the unforgettable Cola Wars in the mid-'80s. This could include the filming of a 1984 Pepsi commercial during which Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire and the disappointing introduction of New Coke. Yeah. I know that because of the Goldbergs.
It's an Apatow movie, right?
Yes.
So is it going to be like Seth Rogen's going to play Coke and James Franco's going to play Pepsi?
They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, that's right. Nice callback.
Thanks. On the Drew Barrymore show's season 5 premiere, Dax Shepard addressed one of the craziest rumors that he's heard about him and his wife, Kristen Bell. Shepard revealed that a tabloid had spread a story alleging that the couple were swingers who hosted swing parties. The armchair expert host left off the gossip, saying his favorite part of the whole ordeal was that he got a lot of texts from their friends asking why weren't they invited to the swingers parties.
I mean, they were teasing, of course, because they know us and they know we're not hosting swinger parties. But I just thought that was to receive, like a text from Kimmel saying my feelings are quite hurt that Molly and I weren't invited to this swingers party was very funny.
Yeah, if I were friends with him, I'd be like, why aren't you inviting us to these swingers parties?
I didn't even know Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell were Mormons.
The secret lives of...
That's the other wife that they haven't introduced on the show. You see, you got to keep watching the show, Buzz. To top it all off, Drew Barrymore asked if there was a couple that Shepard and Bell have fantasized about getting in bed with, and the answer is actually kind of cute.
You know who we're most in love with? We're in love with Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen.
They're couple goals for sure.
Oh my God, they're so dreamy as a couple.
100%.
You just kind of want to be in their marriage. It's not so much that Kristen even wants to bring me along or I want to bring her along. You just kind of want to be in their marriage.
That's what I keep saying. I just want to be in a throuple. Let me be in your
You
throuple.
are in a throuple, Joanna.
Yeah.
Shut up.
With both of you?
Yeah.
Finally, John Bon Jovi is credited with helping save a woman's life after persuading her not to jump from a bridge in Nashville on Tuesday. According to TMZ, Bon Jovi was filming a music video at a bridge when he noticed that a woman was standing on the bridge's edge. Along with another pedestrian, he managed to talk her down and help her back over the railing. The Nashville Fire Department and Metro Nashville Police Department responded to the scene and actually credited Bon Jovi for his actions. Nashville PD Chief John Drake said in a statement, quote, "It takes all of us to help keep each other safe." TMZ notes that through his JBJ Soul Foundation, Bon Jovi actually has training in speaking with individuals who are experiencing a crisis. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
Viva Auto Group. 800 vehicles to choose from because Viva makes it happen.
From the KLAQ studios in beautiful sunny El Paso, Texas, this is the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Now we're jamming.
95.5 KLAQ El Paso, a Town Square media station.
Hey, they did a full, big front page story about La Posta, which is our dining deal sponsor this week. This is a historic weekend coming up for La Posta in Old Mesilla.
Okay.
It's their 85th anniversary.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Although the building that La Posta is in was built in the 1850s, and for a while it was like on the stagecoach route. That's where the mail would come through on a stagecoach. Then they turned it into a restaurant back in the 30s. And they've got a wall of fame in there. You got to check it out. Like, there was a guy who had worked at La Posta since it opened in the 1930s.
Oh, wow.
And he passed away in 2016. But can you imagine the guy had worked there? They got a whole wall of these employees through the years that worked there basically their entire adult lives.
Must be a great place to work.
Everybody seemed very happy. I mean, it's huge, first of all. Delicious. And it is our dining deal sponsor for Friday. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., you can get in on this. We're offering $50 food certificates for La Posta. You can get them for only $25. And if you get up this weekend, La Posta is celebrating their 85th year. They're going to have a buffet, margaritas this weekend. You know how the dining deals work. If you don't, go to KLAQ.com or just open the KLAQ mobile app, look for dining deals, and you can find out all about it. But we only get 100 of these certificates. They're half price, $50 certificates for only $25 at first come, first serve. So be ready. And if you got a paper, check out the article about La Posta. We had lunch up there on Monday with Chris. He and his family have owned La Posta since the 90s, and they're somehow related to the original family that turned it into a restaurant back in the 1930s.
Iconic.
It is iconic. They were telling us, like, a lot of times people will come in, older folks, elderly people in their 80s, will come in and reminisce about when their parents used to bring them to La Posta when they were children. Yeah, it's really great. Also, they're going to be having a big celebration in Mesilla in general for Dia 16 de Septiembre, which is Monday, but all weekend. They're going to have activities and bands and entertainment, and La Posta is right there in the middle of it.
So this is the time to get that dining deal.
They also own, next door, the Fountain Theater. Did you ever go out and watch indie films at the Fountain Theater?
No, I never have.
It might have, I don't know when it shut down, but it might have shut down before you were old enough to do that.
Perhaps.
But I used to go up there in the 2000s. They'd be showing like the Avengers on 50 screens in El Paso, but they wouldn't have, some of these, either an indie film or not a blockbuster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and convince them to reopen that.
Yeah, revitalize that.
I'm going to have random facts on the way for you.
Great.
So we got those coming up here in just a few minutes. Do you want to hear a couple of calls that we've had coming in?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here's one.
Hey, morning, Mosho. Hey, I think Trump was talking about the Haitians killing and eating people's pets. I think he meant that guy that ate dog and got brainworms and then kidnapped a dead baby bear and then went and chopped off a whale's head.
What do you think? Maybe Trump got confused and he's actually talking about RFK Jr.
They gave him so much information that it just got all jumbled up in his brain, and he's just the first thing that came out. They're eating dogs.
I mean, so far there is more evidence that RFK Jr. ate a dog than any Haitian immigrants ate a dog or a cat. There's a picture of him eating what appears to be, it's a four-legged mammal. It's already been cooked. Some people are saying it's a goat, like RFK Jr., but the dude did drive 5 hours to cut the head off a beached whale. Then he strapped it to the roof of his car and drove it all the way home. His daughter, Kik, told that story.
Didn't she say, like, the smell was just terrible?
She said the smell was terrible. People were honking and flipping him off because it was so gross, and flies were, getting into it. That's from his daughter.
What did he want to keep the head for?
For a long time, I always, RFK Jr. has a first-class education. He seems to be an intelligent man, but then he has these crazy, debunked conspiracy theories about vaccines. And for a long time, I wondered, how could such a well-spoken obviously intelligent and well-educated man believed the stuff that has been so thoroughly debunked. And then these stories started coming out. I go, oh, he's a weirdo.
Oh, so he's just weird.
He's right. There's the solution to the mystery. RFK Jr. is a weird dude, man.
Hey, Buzz, and Morning Crew. This is Las Cruces Joe, and I watched the debates with my two young college roommates. One of them's father was from Trinidad, and the other one was is from the Bahamas, and they were deeply offended, as long as I was, also about Trump coming up with his dog eating. I'm 63 years old, and I tell you, the same slur was used for another group of newly arrived refugees, the Vietnamese. And because I lived in Southern California, I worked for a large aerospace company, and when they were some of the most hardest working people, and they contributed when they got here. I mean, there were people that griped, oh, these foreigners are coming in, they're going to be a burden. Yeah, well, I'm of Irish American descent. The same damn thing was said about us. And on the other side of my family, the Mexican American side, same thing was thrown around.
Thank you, Las Cruces, Joe. I think that's an important point. So, look, through our nation's history, every wave of immigrants who have come in have kind of been maligned in shockingly similar ways. You know, when the Irish were coming in after the Great Potato Famine in the 1800s, they're lazy. Somehow they're lazy, and they're going to take our
They're
jobs.
taking all the jobs.
Right. Somehow, simultaneously, they're both lazy and are going to take all of our jobs. They said that about the Irish. They said that about the Chinese. They said that they're criminals. They're a different religion. You know, for the Irish, they were Catholic for the most part, right? You ever see Gangs of New York?
No.
It's a Scorsese movie. It's really, really good. They said it about every group of immigrants. They said it about the Germans when the Germans started migrating. Believe it or not.
So it's just, it's just centuries old.
And guess what? They have diseases. That's another thing.
They're not bringing their best people.
So with every wave of immigration, I think you got kind of the same thing.
The same talking point.
you had a few people of any group of people who are, criminals, just like any population of people. But the majority are decent people. They love their families. They're looking for another opportunity, which unless you're a Native American or an African American and you're in this country, you did that at one point, right? George W. Bush, the former president, once said, caring about your family does not stop at the Rio Grande. George W. Bush, who people hated at the time, right? You really got to reassess George W. Bush. I mean,
yeah,
he got
you look back and you're kind of like, wow.
He got us into a few, 20-year wars based on false information, but he also went to a mosque the day after 9/11 and embraced Muslims and said Muslim Americans are as American as you and I. Appreciate the call. Let's. You want some random facts?
Yeah.
I got a musical random fact as part of the
those.
presentation today. All right, here we go.
And now it's time for
Random facts.
All of these facts are sourced and fact-checked and vetted.
I appreciate that about
Yeah, I put in a lot of work on these. Random fact number 1. The United States imports more oil from Canada than from all the Middle Eastern countries combined.
Canada.
We import a lot of oil from Mexico, and we produce a lot in the United States, too.
Yeah.
Random fact number 2. Who thought to ask this question, and who thought, yeah, I'm going to do the math and figure it out?
Okay.
All the man-made objects on Earth weigh approximately 30 trillion tons.
What?
If you take all the buildings, all the houses, all the cars, anything man-made, they weigh approximately 30 trillion tons.
Wow.
And final random fact of the day. Every element on the periodic table has to be named after one of 5 things. Something from mythology,
Oh.
a mineral, a location, a property of the element, or a scientist.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that?
I did not. That's interesting.
There's like some of these elements were only discovered or came into existence within the past 50 years. So I don't know if they're even like Einsteinium, named after a scientist, right?
Yeah.
Californium. There are new elements since Tom Lehrer did his Element song. Do you know the Element song?
No.
My kids used to know every single word of this because I think they did a version of it on Tiny Toons.
Okay.
But here you go. It's the Element song. Yes.
There's antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen and rhenium, and nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, and iron, americium, ruthenium, uranium, europium, zirconium, lutetium, vanadium, and lanthanum, and osmium, and astatine, and radium, and gold, protactinium, and indium, and gallium, and iodine, and thorium, and thulium, and thallium. There's yttrium, ytterbium, actinium, rubidium, and boron, gadolinium, niobium, iridium, and strontium, and silicon, and silver, and samarium, and bismuth, bromine, lithium, beryllium, and barium. There's holmium and helium and hafnium and erbium and phosphorus and francium and fluorine and terbium and manganese and mercurium, molybdenum, magnesium, dysprosium and scandium and cerium and cesium and lead, praseodymium and platinum, plutonium, palladium, promethium, potassium, polonium and tantalum, technetium, titanium, tellurium and cadmium and calcium and chromium and curium. There's sulfur, californium, and fermium, berkelium, and also mendelevium, einsteinium, nobelium, and argon, krypton, neon, radon, xenon, zinc, and rhodium, and chlorine, carbon, cobalt, copper, tungsten, tin, and sodium. These are the only ones of which the news has come to Harvard. And there may be many others, but they haven't been discovered.
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from AC/DC to Alice in Chains to
Buick GMC on the airport. Home of the nice guys. Yeah. But hurry, in case they come back again.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
I'm a big, stupid jerk.
We are joined by our colleague, my friend for, 30 years now, right, Steve? Close to, like 30 years, right?
30 years, baby.
Yeah. Steve Kaplowitz,
And you want to know something?
Our very own El Paso Sports Hall of Famer, Steve Kaplowitz, joins us. Good morning, Cappy.
Good morning. And I agree with you. Friends is we're colleagues all these years, but friends. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I was one of your groomsmen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Even though you missed my bachelor party.
You missed the bachelor party?
Yeah, don't get me started on that one. We were in Vegas, man. You missed it. You didn't go.
I didn't?
You didn't go to Vegas?
You didn't go to Vegas.
What, did I have a good excuse?
Nope. You just didn't go. And you were a groomsman, man.
I went.
Buzz, you didn't go to the bachelor party in Vegas?
Was I a groomsman in Matt's wedding? No. Was I a groomsman in Matt's wedding?
No. And you showed up late to my wedding, even though you were a groomsman.
Oh, okay.
Buzz Adams, what is wrong with you?
But you know what?
How long
it's
have you
okay.
been nursing this?
It's okay.
It's been, it sounds
It's okay.
like
You
it's
listen,
been bubbling.
I was
Listen,
there
can I
in
tell you
time.
something? We're still
the
friends.
wedding had not started
We're still
when
friends.
I got there.
Hey, I've been married almost 20 years. We are still friends, all right? And I didn't hold it against you. I didn't say, hey, you know what? I'm done with this show. I was okay with that.
Okay.
It's fine. By the way, it was a fun wedding. We did that at the what do you call that?
The Lancers
Club, back when it was still open. Yeah.
On the top floor of the Mesa Tower?
That's right.
Is that not open anymore?
Well, not
I was
the
in a
Lancers.
quinceañera.
No.
You went to a quinceañera
I
there?
was in the quinceañera at that.
By the way, every first couple
I was
of
a member
anniversaries.
for like a year.
I remember that.
Yeah. I used to take girls
do.
on dates to the Lancers Club.
Well, the Lancers Club was one of the. It's one of those
It was
great.
a good place to show off because also the waiters would call you by name.
Yep.
And you really feel
And
like a big shot when
and you
go
had
in
that
there.
beautiful view overlooking the west side of El Paso.
Very unique.
That was a nice
Yes,
view.
yes, that's right.
What
You
is
missed
it
out
now?
on you missed out on the bachelor party. That was so much fun. We had a great time.
That's where KLAQ used to be, wasn't it?
Yes, and then they moved to the old Cinemark.
Movie theater.
Yeah,
The
that's
old
right.
Cinemark movie theater.
Cinemark when they were on the west side. That's exactly.
I can't believe you didn't go to the bachelor party.
I don't even remember.
Bachelor party.
I went to
was
your
fun.
brother's bachelor party.
Did you?
Yeah.
Don't you say his brother's like your best friend?
That's true. I mean,
And you weren't in his wedding.
I don't think I was in Matt's. Where did they get married?
let me think.
Did they get married in El Paso?
Yeah, and I officiated it, so I got to remember where that was.
I wasn't there, was I?
You should have been.
I was at your other brother's wedding in Tulsa.
Yeah, you went to Tulsa. That's right. We all golfed.
Yeah,
That's when Lou Romano was golfing.
played with my dad.
Yeah, he called him Donnie.
Donnie.
Hey, Donnie.
Did you see that shot,
he goes,
Donnie?
nice bleeping shot, Donnie.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
That's great.
So that was a lot of fun. Yes.
We are going to talk a little bit of sports, but we have some phone calls as well. Cappy, I hope you don't mind if we get to a few of those.
Let's do it.
And I definitely talked about tomorrow's dining deal. La
thank
Posta,
you.
85th anniversary of La Posta Restaurant, even though the building is about twice as old as that. It was built in the 1850s.
Oh, that building has so much history.
Yeah, a lot
So
of
much
history.
Yeah.
You can get a $50 certificate for only $25 tomorrow as part of dining deals
Love
at
that.
10 a.m.
Love that.
We got 100 of these certificates, so make
Take
sure you get
advantage.
in early. $50 for only $25. Do you know if there's a limit on how many you can get?
I believe one per person.
One
the
per
idea is to
person
try
this
to get
time
as
around.
many people out to Cruces as possible.
This is
so,
a big
yes.
weekend, by the way. They are celebrating their 85th anniversary, and also in Mesilla, they're having a lot of activities going on for 16 de Septiembre.
That's right.
So we talked about that. We're going to talk week 2 of the NFL is coming up. The Miners are going to take on last season undefeated Liberty.
And we have breaking college news, breaking college sports news with the Pac-12. You heard what happened, right?
I don't think I did, but
the Pac-2 is going to grow to the Pac-6.
The Pac-2.
Because it's Oregon State and Washington State. They're the last two left from the Pac. The original Pac-12, because everybody else is either in the Big 10, the Big 12, or the ACC.
What's the big? Okay,
So it's the Pac-2.
What I knew as the Big 8?
Oh my God! Now you're going to confuse
When I was
everybody.
growing, that was Texas and Oklahoma.
That's correct.
Nebraska, Missouri,
right?
Kansas State.
Was Colorado in that in those days? I thought they were.
They might have been in and
I think they were in the Southwest Conference.
State,
Yeah,
Oklahoma
right.
State. What is it called now?
That is That's what. When you say what is it called? I mean, what is the Big 8?
Yeah, well, I know
the
it
Big
was
8's now the Big 12.
Wasn't it the Big 10 for a while?
No,
Or
the Big. It was
10
always. It was went from the Big 8 to the Big. Well, didn't it? Wait a minute now. Was the Southwest Conference before the Big 8, and then it went from the Southwest Conference to the Big 8, then the Big 12?
No, the Southwest Conference was something different. Like SMU was in the
Oh,
Southwest.
that's the South. Okay, so it went from the Big 8 to the Big 12. And the Big 10 the Big 10's always been the Big 10.
Yeah, right.
Because the
How
Big
many-
10 has
do they still
Indiana,
have 12
Michigan,
in the
Ohio
Big
State,
12?
Penn State.
Because
Oh, no,
Oklahoma
it's
and
huge.
Texas have both gone to the SEC.
I think the Big 12 is now 18.
The Big 12 is now 18, but they still call it the Big 12?
Yes. Just like the Big 10 is 18, they still call it the Big 10.
Okay.
It's so stupid. I mean, it really is.
How could anybody who... I mean, if we watch as much football as we have in our lives, how is anybody
Mm-hmm.
new to the sport expected to understand all this stuff? There's so much of it that doesn't make any sense. I got a couple of calls. So this one came in about an earlier topic. Somebody on TikTok posted a video of a guy clipping his toenails next to the pool at a hotel.
Oh.
Right. And I said gross.
Why?
Which Buzz actually said gross.
Yeah, well, why?
Hi, I'm calling. I wanted to call in earlier, but I was at an appointment and I couldn't. About when you guys were talking about the toenail clipping at the pool, I think it was. It reminded me of a time I was dating this guy, like maybe a couple months, and it was Valentine's Day. And we did like a nice dinner and we went to a hotel room. And after he gets out of the shower, I look over and this guy is clipping his toenails while sitting on the edge of the bed. And I was just like, who does that? Well, needless to say, we didn't see each other anymore after that night. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, what a mood killer.
Wait.
Deal breaker.
Needless to say, I guess if you guys were sitting on the bed, you were already having sex at that point.
Well, she said he was coming out of the shower.
Yeah.
So maybe they had already.
Possibly.
And then after that, never see him again.
But if you're having sex with somebody, yeah, you ought to be able to. Your relationship should be at the point where you can do basic grooming, right?
Maybe it was not that deep into the relationship yet.
It was 2 months.
2 months. Valentine's Day doing it.
You got to get Yeah, maybe that it was. I don't respect Valentine's Day to begin with.
Yeah, you don't.
It's a
You have
Hallmark
no need
holiday.
for romance.
None.
What's your take on when people are dating and they decide to leave the bathroom door open?
Yeah, I mean,
like while you're, and then
that's usually, I think that's common at some point. If you're going to live with somebody, I always close the door. But I had a girlfriend who was like, "Why do you close the door when you go to the bathroom?" Because I'm in the bathroom. Yeah, but we've been together for a year, or whatever.
Who wants to see that?
That's my smell.
I mean, exactly. Like my idea is that exactly right. Exactly. Like there's certain
I was like,
things-
look, it doesn't take any extra effort to close the door.
Right.
Why do you want me to leave the door open? Because we're a couple. It never made sense to me.
Me neither. Joanna, does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
It does? Like open?
I mean, I come from a family where we hardly close the door, so. Unless we're paying.
You don't get a lot of privacy.
Yeah.
Or privacy.
We don't
the
get a lot
British
of
say.
privacy.
Hey, good morning, Mo Show. Yeah, I was hearing you guys talk about the 5 random facts, and then you brought up that.
God, it's been 3 random facts for at least 5 years, and people still call it 5 random facts.
Element song, which reminded me of when I was a kid watching Animaniacs, or you said Looney Tunes or Tiny Toons. They used to actually do a lot of good stuff like that, where they would teach you songs or random historical facts or just educational stuff and put it in some sort of song or funny way or a joke. But they used to actually teach kids stuff like that. Today's cartoons or even TV shows are just dumb in general. They do nothing good for them other than just put rot in their brain. I just thought I'd point that out. It was awesome that you reminded me of that.
Progressive tries to help those who are becoming their parents. Cartoons were great when I was a kid. Now they're
they
all
were.
just crap.
That is how I know the nations of the world.
Yeah.
We had a version in the 70s, and Cappy probably remembers them because they were on Saturday morning cartoons. They
Of the
were
Nations of the
Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, Schoolhouse Rock was great.
There was a funny moment in like 7th grade where we had to memorize and say the preamble to the Constitution for our social studies class. Well, our teacher was a young teacher, like just out of college, but I guess she was too old to know the Schoolhouse Rock because she wanted to, after the third person got up
and started singing it.
We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility. That's how everyone in the classroom did the preamble.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you remember those?
I do.
Conjunction Junction?
Yep. Conjunction Junction is famous.
I'm just a bill. I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. You remember
I do.
Do you remember
I remember all that.
of
I mean, and it's funny because my son has watched that on YouTube, and even though he was born decades after that happened, he's seen those as well. Yeah.
Cool.
It's very well known.
Let's talk a little bit of sports. So the Big Two is going to expand. How many teams?
Not the Big Two, the Pac-2. The Pac-2.
The Pac-2.
The Pac-2 right now is Washington State and Oregon State. They were the last two left. And the reason they were the last two left is nobody wanted them. They were basically the two left behind when the entire Pac-12 disintegrated and moved into other conferences. So this morning, we heard that
what are the schools?
Washington State and Oregon State.
Oh, okay.
Okay? The Cougars and the Beavers.
Okay.
So now, there are 4 schools that apparently have applied to join them starting in 2026, 2 years. Would you like to know who they are?
Sure.
San Diego State.
All right.
Boise State. Colorado State. Are you getting the idea of what conference this is from?
This is the Mountain West or the
Mountain West. That's right.
This is the Mountain West Conference, basically.
And San Diego State.
Also, there's some crossover there with the old WAC too.
Exactly right. That's exactly. So now you have these 4 schools that are all looking to join Washington State, Oregon State, and now people are wondering, could this finally be the time UTEP gets invited to join the Mountain West and be part of the schools that replace the 4 that are going to be leaving? Because that's the storyline right now. There are schools
UTEP could
leaving.
get in on this.
Yes, there are schools leaving, and they need replacements.
Is there any indication at all that the school is interested in leaving Conference USA?
No. Nope.
So this is just
But
speculation at this point.
That's correct. But here are the schools again. Boise State, San Diego State, Fresno State, Colorado State. They are all looking to go to the Pac-12 for membership, which would make
Boise
the Pac-2
State
the
is
Pac-6.
the one that has the blue field, right?
Yes, the blue turf.
Well, they're an exciting, or they were like 5 or 10 years ago. Are they still?
Oh, Boise State? Yeah, that's a good program. Yeah. But here's the deal, okay? And this is
it'd be nice to see the Miners get their ass kicked by different teams for a change.
That's a great way of looking at things. That's the glass half full approach. That really is. Oh, my God. But I'll say this, okay? And this is what's really interesting about this whole concept. And that is, let's just say Mountain West does, in fact, do what then they break apart. And now there's 4 schools are leaving. Here's who's left. UNLV, Nevada, Utah State, San Jose State, Hawaii, New Mexico, Air Force, Wyoming, and that would be your group. So if UTEP was to join that group, would that end up being better than what they have currently in Conference USA?
There are some old WAC teams
There
that you
are
mentioned
old
in that one.
WAC
Hawaii.
teams. Wyoming, Air Force. That's right. There are. So that's a storyline to keep an eye on. You also have UNLV. You have Nevada. There are good schools left. But some people believe that the Mountain West is going to break apart as a result of this, and they're going to disband. So a lot of interesting talk around college athletics. We'll be hitting that today.
We got about 30 seconds. This week, UTEP Miners on the road. They're taking on Liberty. KLAQ is going to air that game.
Give me Liberty or give me death.
Pre-game show at 3 o'clock. Liberty really kind of disrespected UTEP.
Yes.
And the fans.
Everybody disrespects UTEP. Look what happened last week with that Southern Utah coach. Yeah.
Starting next Saturday, though, this is the final UTEP game that's going to be on KLAQ. UTEP returns to 600 ESPN El Paso.
Can't wait.
Cowboys on Sunday taking on the New Orleans Saints, their first home game. They only had one preseason game at AT&T Stadium. Is it still AT&T Stadium?
It's still AT&T. Okay. Yes. Jerry World.
Early game. Our broadcast starts with the Dallas Cowboys pregame show at 10 o'clock. So tune it in. Dallas Cowboys.
And tonight, Buffalo and Miami. Thursday night football.
We'll see how Tyreek Hill performs after his eventful Sunday.
Will there be another detainment in the end zone?
By the way, there is another casting call tonight at Desert Warriors Paintballs for the KLAQ Haunted Houses of Terry. You want to make some, do a little seasonal work, make some extra cash for Christmas, and you get to do fun stuff like dress up and scare people for Halloween.
Love it.
That is tonight, Desert Warriors Paintball, 13900 Montana, or you can call 915-502-3968. I flubbed that. Let me try it again. 915-502-3968 for more information.
You know what I think? I think you talk too much. Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, man, we're done.